portrait. Come let us sit and try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah. Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country we must have regard.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I hope y'all are doing well out here.
And onward to progress we surely will.
Out on the highways and the byways and no ways.
More than ever we must show discipline.
As long as you're finding your way.
And production.
You know what time it is? Tempo Takeover right here on the Street 919 FM.
I say that is the main form.
I'm your new host, Hashim the Dream. DJ Anderson, join us shortly. Don't worry about anything. We've got you locked here until 4 o'clock. And here to just rap with y'all. Speak about the current things of the day. And of course, shout out to everyone to wherever you're listening to us from, be it right here in the homeland. To all of our international listeners, big up yourselves as well. Remember that you can stream us. We're on YouTube right now, so join in, join the live and build it, share the link. The Street 919 FM Live. And of course, you can also stream on Facebook and the official website. That's www.street919fm.com. And join the conversation. The views are shared here. Go to our regular listeners, Mr. La Hoqueta. I know you're listening. Mr. President. We need to come up with a dance for you. You see how Terrence had a dance? We need a dance for you for 2030, so you need to start working on that. Any of your younger family members, go see them about what is the best dance right now. By 2030 it might be old, but we gonna work on it. Don't worry. Don't worry yourself. Big up to my Tobago Massive as well. I know y'all are tuning in. Oh, you never miss nothing, and I love that. Tobago is love. And of course, don't forget, in the final hour, we're introducing a new segment. What is not a crime but should be a crime?
This also goes for
I have a couple of things. Within the last 24 hours, a couple things happened to me, and I was like, yeah, a couple of these things need to be a crime for real. But we're going to get to that later. Don't worry about that. And we're going uninterrupted this afternoon, right? Straight down, right down till we lie down. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So yeah, as we say, what's not a crime but should be a crime? Well, the topic of the day is crime. It's a sad thing to see, really. Yeah, you definitely keep hoping for better, but it seems like we go every other day. Every other day, some sort of violent crime is taking another beautiful citizen away from this country. Speaking particularly today about the attack that happened yesterday, that took the life of Salim Abdul. He was fatally shot near the crossing interchange yesterday. He was an employee of businessman and R&J Celtech owner Rabindranath Maharaj. Was attacked after he switched vehicles with a relative of Maharaj minutes before the shooting. He was driving a Toyota Hilux and assailants opened fire, mistaking him for his family member. I think if you've been paying attention, this isn't even the first time the family has experienced this. I think it was less than a fortnight. Mr. Maharaj's daughter was also attacked. So I'm not sure what it is. And nation, listen to me. I am it's no secret. I'm made sure that it's not a secret. I wasn't raised in Trinidad, but Trinidad is family to me. Right? I have family here. I've come here since before I knew how to walk. About 87% of my identity comes from this Twin Island nation. And I know yesterday we talked about things that we could bring back from the old time days, and a couple of you who contributed to that chat yesterday, said, bring back the safety that we used to know. I, for one, definitely would love to see more of that safety come back. How do we put an end to this crime that has literally afflicted the nation? So it's heartbreaking to see. I'm not sure how it used to be back here, but back in the day I should say. But I definitely know it had to be a hell of a lot better than this. And it almost seems like it has no what's the word I'm looking for, boy? No sense or no care or remorse of who gets caught in the crossfires, I should say. Right? A lot of us could say that these things will never happen to me because you're growing up in, or you live in a more affluent part of the nation. You live in your little gated communities, right? Or you don't live in a hole, you don't go to dangerous places. And out of the blue one day you find yourself, your home getting invaded randomly. Maybe you were being tracked for a while and you just didn't know. And they finally just decided to drop the bomb on you. Best case scenario is that you make it out with your life. They may take everything from you. They may even beat you up a little bit. But in that moment, the only thing you're really thinking about is wanting to live to tell about it. And I want to send my condolences, of course, going out to the Abdul family. It's not easy to lose a family member, much less under circumstances such as these. And it's a young life, nation. A young life that has been snuffed out. 21. I am not up there in age as yet. I still have youth in me. I can still blink and remember my life at the age of 21. The things I was doing, the friends I had, the dreams and aspirations I had for myself. I was just starting university at the age of 21. This is a young life that had a future. He probably had plans, goals that he wanted to achieve. And the way, mistakenly, I don't even like how the news spun it, mistaking him for someone else, mistaken identity, is what took his life. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that doesn't even sound right, because he was indeed just minding his business, going about his day. And that's the kind of nation we live in right now. A nation, I don't know about you, I am fed up of it. You know? You wake up every morning with the hope of simply returning to that same bed that you get out from. Hoping that your loved ones return to the same house that you all left from that same morning. I get up at 6 a.m. every morning, I head to the gym. And I be paying attention to, or I listen to the news in my headphones while I'm on the treadmill. I have to hear of at least one violent act or a young person missing that they haven't been seen since over the weekend. But by the time it hits, because by the time those missing persons hit the media, they've already been missing for what, 2 days? That first 48 is already gone, you know? And then I ask myself, how many of these missing persons are actually found and returned over to their families? The follow-up story almost always seems to be the body of the missing person was found. And the only thing you're hoping for when they say that is, was it found in one piece? Because some of these stories is that you only found the headless body of. Like, where does such evil come from in this world, and how is it allowed to fester in Trinidad and Tobago? In the world in general, but let's focus on sweet TNT Nation. You know, when I first came back to live here, all my Trinity friends is like, why you back here? Why you back here? Trinidad ain't had nothing. And that is disheartening to hear. Because I, as a person, whatever flaws this place may have, I love this nation. It is my favorite place in the world nation. You ask me anywhere I want to be, it's gonna be here. The food is nice. The women are beautiful. The people are funny. The music is sweet. The culture, the history. It sings to me. It sings to me. You want to say God is a Trini, because we know at your best, TNT, at your best, ain't nobody could touch you. When you go out on that world stage and you show yourself as Trinidad and Tobago, they can't beat us. And even when they decide to not give us the win, everybody's saying it should have gone to we anyway. Yes, I say we. All are we. Oh, you help me now. Help me to understand why we have to go through these. We have to go through this. What seems like almost a daily basis. The phone lines is open, by the way, guys. Make sure you call this 342-0081. Also 466-5391. send your voice notes or just call. Send your WhatsApp messages. And, of course, leave your comments on YouTube. I'm going to be doing my best to read the comments as well as taking calls. So, yeah. Today is a heavy day for the Abdul family. And I'm sure they're not even the only ones in the news this afternoon, I should say, that are going through something similar. You know? Whether it's partly cloudy, it's raining in certain parts of the nation right now, or you'll take your time on the road. Wherever you're going, it's not going to pick up and leave you. Drive safe. Alright? Because that is the other factor of people losing their lives. Reckless driving. I don't know if you expect to be invincible when the road is wet. Me personally, I'm not taking them kind of chances. Which line is this? 919 FM, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, the Dreamer, and to your listeners. The Dreamer sent a little video on your WhatsApp day. I need to get a chance to play it. But,
let me check.
Yeah.
Let me check. Is Earl? No.
Ain't seen it? I'll send it back.
Yeah, send it back. And let me see.
Okay.
Yeah. Big up yourself. Thanks for the call. All right, we good there? Yeah, we good. Yeah, well, yeah. Once again, it's 342-0081-466-5391. Yeah, road fatality is the other bad thing that takes the lives. I don't even think they factor in whenever we say the death toll of the nation. I'm not sure if it counts the road fatalities or not when they come up with those numbers at the end of the year of what the death toll is. I think they only just call it murder rate, right? But road fatality is also responsible for a lot of lives lost in this country, right? I want to go a week without hearing that traffic is being held up at a part of the nation because of an accident. I would very much like to go for a week without hearing that. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. I'll say bon après midi, Mr. Laoketa.
Hey, Laoketa, how you doing?
But I feel good. I hear shout out my name, man. I say, oh, my name calling and fan, yeah?
Yeah. Now, there's one thing I do. I just shout out my people, you know. I've been taking a mental list of the people who've been, calling in on a regular.
Yeah, that's very nice, man, for for people like me who are active participants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a little fatigue. Well, not fatigue, really. You said I wasn't born here, but I find you have a Vinci kind of...
It's not Vinci. It's the Virgin Islands. That's where I'm from.
Oh, the Virgin Islands? Okay, well, I never really nobody from the Virgin Islands speak in life. So.
Yeah. British Virgin Islands. If I'm blending both accents at the moment. But yeah, I'm speaking in my raw Virgin Islands accent right now.
Yeah, because you have sometimes there's some tree twang. All that twang, TWNG, all it means is tree language.
Yeah.
Anyhow, well, not the topic. This crime and this lifestyle we have in Trinidad now, that's my opinion, as a participant observant. I believe when we had the oil boom in 1973, right? That oil boom, because everybody in Trinidad were more or less at the same level at that up to 1973. But there are those who were rich and those the other middle class, but the majority were poor people. But the standard of living, it galloped with the first oil boom in 1973. Remember, we had money from 1973 until around 1984. right? So that generation were more or less spoiled. Which generation now are grandparents like me,
right?
Right, and because of that, parents, didn't take much care. They thought money was everything, right? So they'll give a child. I never experienced that one, but I was told that some parents gave their children at that time up to $100 to go to school. I look older and go to school for the day. Yeah,
$100 for the day.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
things were nice.
Yeah, the oil boom really sprang into action and really, it really enriched the country in Trinidad, and that was because of the Arab oil embargo. I don't know if you hear about that. When the OPEC countries,
Right.
Yeah.
That was when like what Trinidad was like what top 3 in oil distribution and those kind of things, right?
Yeah. From 1973, we started to produce more oil, and well, then the gas came late in the 90s, but the oil, right? Although we're producing oil more than 100 years old, but the thing is, the price just spiked.
Right.
Yeah, in 1973. So that is one of the things, and because of that money, that financial independence, how marriages broke down, right? People lost enthusiasm for religion and all this kind of thing, right? And it started from there, and then it dropped a little bit until the gas came in the 90s,
right?
And when the gas came, now we became wealthy again, right? And because of that, those activities that I believe it damaged family life in Trinidad. That is why we end up in this situation today. Now, some people claim that when we had the junior sec and the senior sec, that secondary school, that wasn't a good idea anyhow. But I do not know what impact it may have an impact, because then we had half-day schools for the junior sec, and a lot of children were left unguarded and unprotected and unsupervised, at least for half of the day. Right? So it's a lot of things, because even now, our neighbors live now. They live different to in the 2070s and things. Right? Long time before the oil boom, a neighbor will cook our food and I say, neighbor, look, I bring this for you, make us sweet bread on a weekend, and that we do all them kind of thing again. Yeah? Even the sporting activities, like village against village in cricket and football, every Sunday, all the recreation grounds in the country districts and the Savannah, even the Savannah in town.
Right.
A lot of sporting activities were taking place. So it's a whole sort of thing, right? So we have to get the sociologists busy and start to do some serious investigations into what caused the society to degenerate like this.
But in your opinion, it's definitely because of the prosperity led to lack of community, basically. Yes.
The prosperity, where it was good on one hand, it left a breakdown in the society, or it damaged the society. Yeah. So I don't have to say. Well, I don't know my boy DJ Anderson.
Don't worry, he in the building. He's here. He got you.
But I sat down unless I lose it, I didn't hear my kites. So for me, what I requested yesterday.
I go look for the kites. So this afternoon for you.
Yeah,
right?
Which is the tune is radio stations.
Yeah, by Relator.
Lord
right?
Relator.
Yes. Yeah, I did remember that from yesterday. We're gonna look for that for you. All right.
You take care, my brother. You're nice.
Of course. Thank you.
Right.
Yes, I. Oh gosh, I hope you didn't hang up. Good afternoon.
Good day, sir.
Yes, thanks for holding.
Yeah, man. That is part of it. Huh? But what happened is, as we became more developed, right? And people became a little more dependent on the government to supply everything. That is why the whole hue and cry for a long period of time was for your child to get a government job.
Right.
And then our mouth got sweet with foreign things. And you have to understand that at a certain period of time in my time,
Right.
It was like $2.25, $2.50 per US. So things were able to get easy.
So wait, the exchange rate was even lower than the 6 than the 6. Growing up, I only ever knew it was 6 to 1.
It was 2 something, and then we went to sleep. A morning, a man said they go in and float the dollar, and we went to sleep, and the dollar sink because I don't know who traded over the weekend, but we wake up with it $3 and something cents.
What?
We went to sleep at 2 something and wake up at 3 something. They say it was based on supply and demand, so I don't know who demanded all of that US over the weekend. But that was what we end up with. And then from there, it keeps sinking and sinking, and nothing float up to now. It can't float yet.
Wow. So right? they just said float to this track here then, because it's only the dollar sink.
Yes, because maybe we were overvalued, and what we were doing before, we did not continue to do because our productivity dropped. Because things were easier, our productivity dropped, and we were able to get paid without doing work. As we continued more, as I said, more in public service jobs, we got money for less. And then based on the unions getting involved in a lot of areas, it was difficult to have corrective measures, and people had the opportunity to take advantage of certain things. And you know, to me, we just take advantage of certain things. Right? And this is what we had. So we was getting more money for less productivity. And that is what saw the problem even in the gas that caused Petrotrin to have the refinery to have to close, because we had the cost of productivity of the gas was much more than we could have sold it. The same thing as sugar, that we were no longer competitive on the open market. And that is because, as I tell you, the cost of the US dollar started to go worse and worse. So what we could have gotten away with before, we could no longer do that again.
Right.
Because the cost of the US was higher. And then people, as I tell you, we mouth gets sweet.
Right.
So we got accustomed to a certain way of living. And we decided, you know what, we're going to stay with that, and we want this, and we want this, and we want this, and we don't care how we get it. And I don't know, you wasn't there for long when we had something called the barrel trend.
Nah. I don't even think I would have been born by then.
People would have gone away and get even more US and selling only barrel of things for the children down here.
Right.
And children lived nice. Everybody was living happy. We even had the opportunity to go and pick apples, and was more US, and we were living a whole way better. So our lifestyle became nice.
Right.
And what happened is when things started to go awry, we could not make the adjustments to our standards of living. And we continued to live like if there was plenty. And the haves and have-nots distance started to increase. And then the have-nots started to envy the have and want to still get everything, and looking forward to the administration to provide the emptiness in their pockets, which of course cannot be a sustainable thing for any long period of time. And now we are where we are, where some who don't have decide I'm going to take. But all these are necessary. I told people that because I learned this in sociology, crime is a necessary evil. Because it lets the administration know that the social programs need to be readjusted, and people need to be re-educated on how things are supposed to be. We don't do this. We just teach children 1 and 1 make 2, and the cow jump over the moon, but we don't tell them how to be economically viable and sustainable to make a proper contribution to their own life. We have a lifestyle of spend. Because even we get it from the administrations, where for years, government after government's way of fixing problem is throw money at it. We have been spending money that we don't make. Numerous governments came and went, and they spend money from our GDP instead of the tax collected. And as the guy from England doing Brexit that it had, he mentioned it, if a country spends more than they collect in tax revenue, it is only a matter of time before that country collapses economically. And we have been doing that, and now we have to pay the piper, and we don't like that outcome. We have a problem with the outcome. So, what we can do, if we don't change and adjust to the circumstances that we are in, we will find ourselves worse and worse day by day. Have a good day.
You as well. I appreciate your call.
Remember, the key to success is working hard.
That is definitely some insight there. Because when Trinidad was sweet and the money was flowing, everything, well, things were relatively calm. But as soon as the things started to turn, we didn't want to adjust with the times. And so we fell into chaos because everybody wants how it used to be. I feel it. You remember them old pictures that we were talking about yesterday? I remember seeing a picture from, I can't remember if it was the 70s or the 80s, but of Independence Square, Port of Spain. And to me, honestly, it looked better than how it looked now. I'm not sure if it was the structure or how the buildings were looking, but it was almost like, you know, they were just left there. Nothing was upkept. Nothing was really. It looks bland in comparison, if I'm being honest with you. You know.
Pictures from what, back then?
Yeah, the picture from back then looked better than downtown Independence Square today.
Really?
To me, yeah. It looked bright. It looked vibrant. It looked like a city that was thriving, you know? And I'm not saying downtown Independence Square don't look like it's thriving. It looks busy. It looks bustling. But I don't get the same energy just from that picture alone. I know somebody is calling here, but we actually have to go on a break in the next minute, and I don't want to have to cut you off. So I implore you to call us back after the commercial break to weigh in on your contribution. I don't want to hinge on what you have to say. I want to hear you out in full, you know. But yeah, guys, DJ Anderson is in the building. He's right here. Well, yeah, headphones, boy. What going on?
Well, boy, long story. I just had so much to do, and I forgot to put the headphones in the car.
Hey, it be like that sometimes. I feel you. I have to double and triple check every time I leave the house. Make sure I have everything: wallet, keys, phone, and sometimes I just end up leaving that wallet and I just be pissed because I have to go right back into the Going Gate. It's be tough out there, guys. But yes, guys, you're on the Tempo.
I'm glad to be here.
Of course. We're going to talk in the next hour. It's Tempo Takeover, guys, on the Street 919 FM. We're going to take a pause for a cause. And you guys call back when we come back for the show. Stay and stay. It's going to be a good afternoon.
And so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You want to find something great to do with your Tuesday nights? You want to learn and understand the true reason for Jesus? Then join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. for the program, This Same Jesus. This Same Jesus, the program that puts Jesus in his rightful place in our hearts and in our homes. Let's bring church home to you. Join us every Tuesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. with your hosts, Kempes and Kevin. Be inspired, be blessed right here on the street 91.9 FM.
Falling in love with Jesus.
Don't miss May mega deals at Furniture Plus. Come enjoy massive savings store-wide today. Get up to 50% off mattresses, up to 45% off living room furniture, up to 40% off bedroom furniture, up to 25% off appliances, up to 20% off electronics, and much more. Buy now, pay later with affordable hire purchase plans. Plus, earn Caribbean Airlines. Travel miles when you shop with us. All Furniture Plus stores open today. Hurry in. These deals won't last.
Men, women, tired of the invasive, painful old methods of testing prostate and breasts?
The Institute of Health and Fitness Clinic and Wellness Center offers comprehensive and non-invasive diagnostic testing, which indicates the nature and extent of diseases and tests your nutritional levels. Our quick testing can identify early signs of problems by evaluating many of the bodily functions, such as male and female sexual function, gastrointestinal function, liver function, kidney function, thyroid function, heart and brain function, and also cancer testing. Results are comparable with other medical lab tests without the use of needles or embarrassing specimen cups, and is pain-free. We also offer all natural treatments. Visit us now at number 79 St. Vincent Street, Tunapuna, or call 492-7397 or 289-6363.
Trinidad, let's do it.
White Oak One Caribbean Music Festival, Saturday, May 31st at the Queen's Park Savannah. Port of Spain, Trinidad. The King of Dancehall, Vibes Cartel. The legendary Sizzla Kalonji, Mega Superstar Molly. Get your tickets now.
Physical tickets available at all cachet outlets. Frankie's on the Avenue, Solera Wines and Spirits, Hubby's, Waterhole, South Trinidad, New Wave Apparel, Swax Collection, Sangre Grande, Bobby's Bar, Westby's Supermarket, Terminal 4, Long Circular Mall, Ultimate Car Care Solution, Trailblazer, San Fernando, Marco Polo, Cipriani Boulevard, Big Life Apparel location, Whipped Restaurant, 1 Woodbrook Place, 519 Restaurant and Bar, C3 Mall San Fernando, Bush Nightlife, Superior, Hubby's Barbershop, Port Mall Scarborough, Jade, Monkey, Crown Point, Waterholics, Pigeon Point, East Bay Fashion, Spring Garden, and Wendy's Wholesalers. Online at islandetickets.com, frontlineticketing.com, or OneCaribbeanMusicFestival.com. For more info, call 794-6263.
White Oak One Caribbean Music Festival, Saturday, May 31st.
Powered by California Stucco. Sponsored by FT Car Care Center and B-Mobile.
This Father's Day, we making it messy just how Dad likes it. Buy any messy sandwich on the KFC app for just $34.95. And you could win a 75-inch smart TV, a barbecue grill, or a wireless sound bar. Crunch it, drip it, gift it. Promotion ends June 11. Only at KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282. or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamfleur, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Think you've got the spark to light up the airwaves or the drive to seal the next big deal? The Street 919 FM is on the hunt for fresh voices and bold talent. Whether you're a natural-born entertainer ready to command the mic or a savvy sales star ready to crush targets, this is your chance to shine with the station that defends the nation. Radio stars bring the energy, passion, and charisma. We're looking for dynamic personalities to electrify our airwaves. Sales executives, if you're a go-getter with the hunger to succeed and build lasting relationships, we want you on our team. Show us what you've got. Send your demo or resume today to thestreet919fm@gmail.com and take your shot at greatness. The Street 919 FM, the official station that defends the nation. Join the movement. Become the next big thing. The wait is finally over. The Street 919 FM is powering up its digital presence with the launch of its vibrant new website, www.thestreet919fm.com. Now you can take the energy of the street with you wherever you go. Immerse yourself in a dynamic world of the hottest music, thought-provoking talk shows, exclusive interviews, and non-stop entertainment. Stay informed with the latest news updates and essential information, all just a click away. Don't miss out on being part of the Street 919 FM community online. Head over to www.thestreet919fm.com today and experience the rhythm of the street like never before.
Whoever said messy was a bad thing totally missed the point. Take that hit song everyone loves now. It probably started like this. Baby, calm down. That's why KFC is celebrating the messy moments with our Messy Cruncher and Messy Zinger sandwiches for only $34.95. Imagine a crunchy, golden brown, flavorful chicken sandwich sauced to perfection with our signature sweet, spicy, tangy sauces. Oh boy. So crunch into the deliciously messy moments today. Check socials for details. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
So line up, link up, creep up, rock and come in. It's all about the fastest growing reggae show in the land without a doubt. Reggae Rock Sundays on the Shit 919 FM with yours truly, MC Duke and Selector Kochi on the ones and twos. So make it a date and don't be late. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here on the Shit 919 FM. Got 'em our way, King Selassie.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
radio stations driving me mad. NBS Radio and Radio Trinidad. These radio stations driving me mad. NBS Radio and Radio Trinidad. Because of their operations today, is only foreign artists getting airplay. So I have come to the conclusion that these foreigners own we radio station.
Okay. Yeah, that one is gonna be for Mr. La Hocketa. I know he requested that one from yesterday. So yeah, you got your you got your request in there. You can't say we didn't do it for you. Yeah, I get any signal from the engine room. I get any signal from the engine room. But yeah, I had to make sure. I just want to cater to my peoples, you know. So yeah. Yeah, once again, we are in the building. Once again, guys, the Street 919 FM. Yours truly, Hashim the Dream. Anderson, I thought Anderson was here with me, but I only seen his phone.
Let us forget fights and grudges.
I have to show what he dip off to again.
Come, let us sit and try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show.
But yes, guys, remember the phone lines is open. It is 342-0081-466-5391.
To build a strong and better nation.
We were just speaking on
I say, that is the main
crime and the reason for it in TNT today, you know. Our last caller in the last hour left some really provoking thoughts, you know, and some pretty insightful reasons as to why we're paying for the crime right now. You know, the prosperity of mid-70s with oil, and then in the 90s with gas. Whenever those riches left, basically said the nation refused to adjust.
Remember,
I decided to take instead of work
for our country, we must
to get back to where we used to be. So
forget all your differences, let we start to build.
I'm not sure how I felt about the what he said about crime as a necessary evil, though. That one struck me hard, but he explained it really well, but I still don't like the notion of that.
No, but you know, as they say, crime does pay, you know, as they say, crime is a business. To some, you know, without crime, then certain things would not be able to continue, and certain people's pockets wouldn't be able to, you know, get that money. So, you know,
true.
Crime is a business. So, as much as we would want the entire world, or we would want Trinidad and Tobago, you know, to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to be able to live more in harmony and crime free, it's just not gonna happen.
It's a dream, you see.
Yeah, I mean, we would obviously, yes, we would want the crime to decrease and all of that, but to see a country that has no crime at all, I mean, just look at all around the world, that's highly impossible.
Definitely impossible, but to get rid of crime totally. That because just of human nature, people want and will take. There will always be people who want to take, you know. But there, you can look at countries that with shining examples of how a society can thrive and make sure that crime is not as rampant. You know, like, where did they say was the happiest place in the world right now? Well, not happiest, but at least the most crime-free, I think, is Norway or Sweden. I can't remember which one.
Then you have to check. Then you have to check the population. But before I continue, I was now told that I am very rude today because I didn't greet the listeners properly. So I apologize. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, and I do apologize for not being punctual today. But it's just a lot, you know. It's hard to get a parking today, boy.
Oh, we gonna talk
You
about
know?
that. We gonna talk about that later in the show. Oh God, I gotta call in. I gotta call in.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's real hard to get a parking, and your apologies accepted.
There you go. There you go. You see, the people forgive you.
How old are you?
Which one are you talking to?
Who told you? How old are you?
Should I say, man?
Gosh, boy.
You want us to say our age on the airways, boy?
Just say under 40 or you know.
I could
Give
say
me a-
I'm within my 30s.
Yeah, I'll say that as well. Yeah, I'm in my 30s.
Right. That whole parking stories is pure corruption.
Do tell. Do tell.
There's a part of you that know something ain't right about that. Yes. Your God-given genius in you is telling you something about it is not right.
Very true.
It's a whole mafia operation. That parking operation is a mafia-run operation. I tell you that. Now, you see my number, right?
Yeah, I seen it.
Send me a number.
Just so you send me on your
Yeah, send me your number. You see, you telling me about crime pays? Will you think crime pay is not what it is? Not the little boy and them running in the store and they try to rob the you remember when they try to rob the
Definitely not them.
the armor truck? When they tried to rob the armor truck in South and the lady got shot?
Yeah.
That was in Pennywise.
They didn't Then they didn't even get away with they didn't get away with no money.
Yeah, that was the
They
Pennywise.
get away with a bag and the lady clothing in the bag.
Yeah.
So crime don't pay like that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
And all them fellas and them who get shot trying to rob auntie and whoever they try to rob, they didn't walk away with no riches or no gold or no nothing. So crime don't pay like that.
At all.
But if anybody...
Crime pays when you lock up the unsuspecting population and their name is in a trust and the people do not know about the trust that they're naming. That is when crime really pays. So I tell you, call me. Right?
Okay.
You're sending a number to me?
Okay. I ain't gonna sit down on the air. We go converse.
I like how no, send it to me. I like how you're young and you're looking for answers. Right? Yeah, and the unsuspecting population don't have a clue what's really going on.
All right.
I like that spin on it, though. I like that spin on that. I like that spin.
You like that spin? You don't even know who your puppet. You don't even know who is your puppet master. And if I really explain to you about your puppet master, who have us like a puppet, then they will say that, oh, that sounds like a conspiracy. So the person showing you who the conspirator is, right? And who is dancing to the puppet master tune, and then you say that sounds like a conspiracy. You understand what's the problem?
Yeah, they shoot any messenger, basically.
There you go. There you go.
We go talk.
Yo, send me a number.
Yeah. You have a point, though. You know? The little boys who feel they bad man and thing, that's not really... Well, it's part of the problem. I'm not going to say it's not a problem. But the real crime goes way, way, way further up the ladder. That is definitely true. I do not even deign or to suggest that I know who runs who is on who payroll, and who have who in a chokehold. Because that agenda changes as often as we change clothes. Because, as you say, crime is a business, it's a violent business.
It is. It
is not a business where you sleep comfortably at night knowing that you are on top. The one at the top of the top is always looking at the bottom to see who's trying to scrape up to shoot him down. Right? Such was so for the Chapos, the Escobars, the Capones. Yeah, elders. I know a little something about Al Capone. Yeah. To every major crime law that you've ever heard of in history, their fates are always the same. In one way, shape, or form or the other. But the structure that they left behind or became a part of remains, and they just put the next person on top. Something to think about. It's something to think about.
You know, what some persons may not have been looking at and should be keeping an eye on is because obviously, as you guys know, one administration left office, another administration came into office. They both had a lot to say on their campaign and what they would do in relation to our current crime situation. And since this new administration has taken office, to this date, we have experienced close to 64 murders within that period.
Between the elections and now?
Between the elections and now.
Wow. What is the toll at the moment? Because I have not been keeping track.
From April 29th to May 27th, it has a total of 64 murders within that period. Now, I said that not to say that I believe that crime is falls heavily on the government alone, because we sometimes support, hide, and encourage our friends, families, relatives in their nonsense.
I'm glad you went there, because like the caller said in the last hour, we like to blame the government for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And crime is certainly one of them. And while it is certainly their job to enforce laws that make sure crime remains low, they are only part of the solution, right? A big part, yes, but it's not entirely their fault.
Correct. Right? And I say that, and I want to stress on what you started the show with. You know, of a life that was lost yesterday, and I mean, persons may think that, you know, it's this. Some persons may not even want to have this conversation or have this reality check, or they may find it too hard to digest as well, but it is necessary. And I want to lean in I want us to lean a little more deeper into it. And imagine you're 21 years old, you show up to work like any normal day, ready to earn your keep and support your dreams. You're behind the wheel doing an errand for your boss, and within a second your life is stolen. That was the tragic fate of Salim Abdul, a young employee working with a well-known Mirage family, owner of R&J Celtech and other electronic businesses down at a Gulf City Mall on Tuesday. Now, Salim was gunned down near crossing in what police believe was a targeted hit gone wrong. Now, here's the kicker. Salim was the target. The gunman were after. So Salim wasn't the target. The gunmen were after his boss, which is Shane Mirage, who was in a vehicle following closely behind. Just minutes before the shooting, Shane and Salim switched vehicles. That one decision likely saved Shane's life and cost Salim his. Now, pause with me here. This wasn't an isolated incident, because as you mentioned earlier on, about 2 weeks ago, there has been 3 violent attacks linked to the Mirage family, including a shooting at the boyfriend of Lisa Mirage and an ambush on Lisa herself while she was driving. So let me ask you, the listeners, what is really going on in our communities? How do we protect innocent people from being caught in someone else's war? Because this isn't just a normal mistaken identity or a family that just have money and someone just wants to get rich overnight. This is a family have a war that is going on, and innocent people are getting caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, because it can't be coincidence at this point. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I will tell you what's going on in the communities, DJ Ando. What is going on is the people that we are paying to ensure that it have some stability, some peace, or to deal with persons who choose to upset the peace in the communities. The people that we are paying, their superiors.
You there? Uh-oh. We're losing you. We're losing you there. Oh, Lord. Call back, Chris. Call back. We lost it. We lost your signal there for a bit.
So yes, I'm just asking you, the listeners, how do we protect our innocent people from being caught in someone else's war? And when crime starts reaching this level of boldness, what does it say about the society we build in? So you guys know the numbers. You guys could call in and be a part of the show.
Look my Prime Minister for 2013. President, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Dream.
How are you doing?
Quite well. Good afternoon, DJ Anderson.
Good afternoon, President.
Okay. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I am President Trinidad and Tobago. Good sir. I must announce that to my council every day, so they will know that I have a council, which is all you. My council name is Villagers Opposition Council. In all, the whole of Trinidad Liberal Independent Brotherhood. It mightn't be on paper, but I announce it for the longest while, and I want us to learn. I want us to acknowledge. I want us to more or less establish it if we see fit. And so I am keep on carrying it on until next election.
Trinidad
now,
Independent Brotherhood. I like that.
To go now into your matter, I want to just let DJ repeat his question of what he wants.
So the question I'm asking again is, how do we protect innocent people from being caught in someone else's war? And also when crime starts to reach this level of boldness, what does it say about the society we are building?
Okay. You can't protect nobody if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Supposed to begin. Now, the society that we have is a corruptive one. So what we creating is a corruptive survival. Where do it start? Basically, the heart of men bears a bit evil will. Still, we have authority that we set to control order and circumstances in our growing, in our survival, which let's be the governments. The governments is the corrupted one because they rule by design of how they set so that they, as the organization of an authority, could survive. When they do,
create havoc in the society because what they live really is how call it again? Anarchy. They live a life where they are tyrants to the society. They encourages corruption, they encourages strife so that the society could survive and could thrive. So, on the end of it, what we have in this society is greed, selfishness, and the internet is a positive distributor at that. Not that it is have intelligent thing, but the teaching, especially the children of today who don't know nothing about yesterday, they're teaching the children plenty ignorance. And what we have, again, is a lack of discipline, tolerance, and production, which last day we ended with that because my time was going a little too long. I could accept that. And I use the word in that discipline, tolerance, and production could bring slavery. But discipline, tolerance, and production could also bring a moral, civil, free existence. Which one we choose in? And which one is being set upon us so that we end up living the slavery one. And these are the points. Now, what we don't have, again, is appreciation to one another. That word is even much more powerful than love, because you don't reach love before you're able to have all the most of the disciplines that you could understand to live communicatively, so that you could able to understand appreciating one another. If we go there, we could even understand that 88% of the world do not know the word they call God, because they call that God from the mouth, but the heart and mind is far from it. Brothers and sisters, if I really go to bring up the philosophical states that I see, even from the scriptures, which the scriptures as it was created from disciplines. You may see plenty war and all kind of things to show you, to help you, and that is historical thing they're showing you, to help to show you discipline. But in all those history, they're showing an agenda of somebody, not no God, somebody who set as a God. Why not to have an entity name that the whole world could actually know that was the Creator? The Creator is what's supposed to be harder in man's mind and know the Creator name, not no God name. Creator name, Creator is God. Maybe the others say Creator is God. There's about 90 million God in people's mouth. But you only have one Creator. You could talk where one. That one word they call Creator, it's for everybody in the world. So why they have an entity for it? You see, these are the things that cause any crime. Don't understand. Oh, no, I want to tell you we're not appreciating one another because you don't know how to even appreciate your own self. So how do you appreciate your brother and sister? If they take away that word, that main word that should have been understood by human beings from so long, I tell you, this thing, this life created to this, it's trying to be so. They put word on top of it so that you could follow a word as God, but they could direct you because you don't know the truth. You don't know truth. You have been surviving by lies. We have been surviving by lies, and we not want to change it, all for the cost of the survival, greed, the selfishness, the internet bringing plenty of that lack of discipline, lack of tolerance, lack of production. In those lack, we wouldn't see the free moral, but we will see where, and we will stay in where we sin, not coming out of it, being a slave under the system, my brothers and sisters. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, DJ Anderson, to Dr.
Hey, thank you, President. Thank you, President. Thank you. Hey, I soon have to really go get a doctorate if you can keep calling me that, you know. Good afternoon, August. Thank you so much for holding.
Yeah, I'm happy to hold on after that fella. You see that fella there? I will tell you, you must set up an interview with that fella there. Seriously. Give him do a 15-minute interview. And he is going to give you some very helpful hints as a younger fella under 40. Take my advice. Interview him. He has plenty things he wants to say, and he don't have enough time to say it. Because you hear what he was telling you in the beginning. He was telling you about the conspirator. You see, in the word G-O-D, capital G-O-D, when you see it, it don't really mean what people think they perceive they see, because that G-O-D in capital means Government Ordnance Department. Interview that fella. But call me. Send me a number.
All right.
And you will begin to be a change agent. Interview that man there for 15 minutes one day. Don't let him hustle.
Will do.
Prepare your questions. Interview that man for 15 minutes.
Will do.
You know what I'm telling you?
Definitely.
You ready? All right.
Yes, I.
So I'm seeing persons still asking for the numbers to call in. So I'm gonna call all those numbers slow, so at least you guys could get those numbers, so you guys could be a part of the conversation. So it's 342-0081 466-5399
5391.
91. Okay.
Yeah.
So 5391. So you guys could call in, or you could send your WhatsApp, send your voice notes as well. Those are the numbers that you could call us and be a part of the conversation right here on the Street 919 FM Tempo Takeover. Yours truly, DJ Anderson, and The Dream.
Yeah. Big shout out to everybody in the YouTube live streaming as well. Roland, good afternoon. Della, good afternoon. If you're on Facebook, live streaming us as well. We need to get a screen for Facebook Live so we can see what's going on there
with Facebook.
Because I'm sure they be commenting on there, and we don't read their comments. I don't want anybody to be left out, you know. Good afternoon, you're on the street.
Gentlemen, good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
Yes, man. A nice program, man. I call to compliment you on this program, man. Always interesting. You bring about some nice topics. You get some nice callers. And always informative and educating, my friend.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yes. With reference to crime, you know, since yesterday, yesteryear, I keep hearing about Rowley thief, Kamala thief, this one. And, you know, I continue to say, God gave me the strength to stay focused.
Thank you. Caller, before you continue, caller, come to the front of the class, please.
We need sound effects for this.
Come to the front of the class.
We need sound effects
Today, I'm bringing you in front of the class.
Yeah.
You could continue.
You see the spiritual weakness in man, which encourages the devil, is what have us. Like a caller a while ago say, we know good and bad, we know right from wrong. But it's which way you're going, Matty, you know? Man have to try to stick with the Almighty God, breads. I continue to say every time I call, we push the Creator out. We don't want him in the mouth. We take him out of the school curriculum, making it worse. So you see, I don't know about crime and how they talk about. I work security all my life, my friend. And you're talking about temptation. I see. Whether I resign from security and nobody can point their hand at me, boy. I never fight in my life. Not even all through school days. Me letting nobody think bother me. Nobody ain't giving me the vehicle to drive and tell me the insurance just expired yesterday, boy. It's just right on the road here reaching for me and come back. No, brother, what is wrong is wrong. I wear a foundation that carries me through, and the policeman have to respect me because I respected me. I look to him because you always bring some nice, healthy, interesting topic, my friend. I like your choice on music. I continue to say I got PNM. And last but not least, I don't know the controversy surrounding Brian Lara. But I know at one time he was a big 375 man, 525, and then I see how we put him in the dark. Same thing with Gary Griffith. Everybody was call Gary. Today, Gary is in the mud. And to me, Wiggle is more he sings. But somehow or the other, I would have liked Gary, if not at the top of the rank, just give Gary a space because I feel he like fighting crime. Locked on and listen to my brother.
Thank you.
I waiting for the last hour. I waiting on the last hour to call him and tell you what I think is not law, that should be law.
Well, we're looking forward for that as well.
For sure, for sure.
Yes, thank you, my brother. Good.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I found the sound effect bed. So next time we have fun to the class, I go choose something.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
Oh Lord, look. Yeah. Phone line's hot this morning. You want to talk? Call back. Yes. Shout out to Andre in the chat. Yeah. Big up to Baka in the morning on Voices of the Street. Yeah, they have me here now, guys. So if you was investing in the morning, you're gonna have to invest in the afternoon show now. So this is where they're gonna have me. Yeah. But thank you for welcoming me to the Street family. I will definitely appreciate it. Yeah. Somebody was calling. It looked like they dropped off.
So you know, I really want to know from, you know, Trinidad and Tobago, you know, what we're really doing for our communities, you know, if this is continuing to escalate like this, where crime, what are we really doing? What is really happening to our communities, and how are we, or what measures are we putting in place to safeguard the innocent? Because a lot of these crime that are happening, and the reason why I say the reason why I said what are we doing to protect innocent people from other person's war, is because when Lisa Maraj was attacked, and thankfully she was able to make it to the police station, and she was unhurt. Thanks be to God for that. When you watch the messages that was coming in on social media, and you saw comments and so forth, people were saying this is not the first time that this is happening to this particular family. And people were saying things of the sort of business that they in and their business practices. Now, a lot of people could say a lot of different things, allegations, and it is alleged. But as Big Mike would always say to me, where there is smoke,
there's fire.
So that happened, and then right after, her boyfriend, and then now a worker. That is enough to tell me that there is more to that.
Let me see.
So what are we doing? Because we can't just keep talking amongst or saying in secret, hey, the dream, don't trust them enough, don't trust them enough. But we're not really doing anything about it.
You just telling me don't trust and you're not giving me the reason why. Right? You ain't heard this from me, you know. Right?
Correct.
Don't say I say, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't like to hear that at all.
Exactly.
Hold on. I hope they're still here. Good afternoon, you're on the street.
Yes, gentlemen.
How are you doing?
Afternoon. We really not too serious about crime in this country, you know. Well, in terms of the people who are charged with the responsibility of treating with what is crime, we really are not serious. You see, it's so many different aspects and categories of crime that we speak about every day. But yet still, the aggressive efforts of our police service still is on the roadway, right? Still is on the roadway to see how roadworthy your vehicle is, right? Because we talk about persons being able to purchase the license and them things. When last have we had a sting operation in licensing? We talk about things going on in customs, right? At the ports of entry. When last have we had a sting operation there, right? It have police living in every single community in this Twin Island, right? But many of them are working miles and miles away from where they live, and then are dependent most times on asking citizens to give information to them. Police have to take charge of the communities and become the community leaders. You putting on the police service can put on events, right, and get intimate with the community and take charge, so that anything that happens, you will be there and ready to treat with it. If it has people who are determined in their mind that they want to go contrary to the law and the constitution, then you have the whole backings of the TPPS behind you, who's supposed to come in and treat with the matter, and the other law enforcement agencies. $7 billion in Ministry of National Security almost yearly, and yet still we don't have proper surveillance footage of all the public roads and places in this community, or at least Tobago, to try the model there and then bring it over here and see how it can work for us. Right? Too many unsolved murders. You don't know if it's serial murders, if it's somebody who now committing a murder for the first time. They're just shooting all over the place every single day. And the police are not taking very serious action as it relates to putting things in place to try to curb these, how to say it, boy? You have to involve yourself in a lot of conflict resolution measures, get involved with the younger population, try to help them by interacting with their mind and helping them to make better choices.
Wild West.
Yeah, so in the police service themselves have a challenge because of what it has become, right? Sometimes they depend on political directives to move forward, and we hear all these allegations of political untowardness and no set of aggressive police efforts into it, right? It's always sometimes fallen by the wayside. The police, I know if you get to watch the video, but many of them just continue to get emotional on the job. They're not receiving proper training to be able to remain professional. It is important that you remain professional, carrying out your duties, and you don't breach the Constitution while doing so, because it's best we make the current gang leaders and community leaders the police of the communities that they are. And we might probably get less killing in the place. If we pay them and say, we're going on all this, make sure I'll keep the people here, all the lock in here, all the in charge are here. Well, what sense will it make if many of the police officers feel okay to act just like these people in the society would try to get rid of? And the list is so long in terms of problems that we face as a nation. Right? Boy, I will leave it there. Locked on our list.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. I like where the conversation going in because I ain't finished there, you know. The dream I now start. I ain't finished, but I like where it's going because that is exactly the direction I wanted to go.
Right.
But in the next hour, I will bust the other part of the bombshell for you.
Yeah, you were getting into it before the calls came in about, it's not just the government fault, right? And I'm gonna drive the point across before I take this next call. Yeah, it has to do with us too. When you, in your little communities, defend and hide these community leaders.
He's a good boy. All the police wicked.
All you too wicked. Right? When you hiding them because he buy a kingfish for you to cook up on Sunday 2 months ago, right? Or he may have just bought some books for the children, some copybooks and things for the children.
No, you
to
saying
pacify y'all.
Mind you saying he bought, but you know fully well he works no way, draws no pay, but he come home with a whole hog.
Right.
Where you get that?
With bags, big bags in them, full.
Right.
Full of groceries.
Works nowhere, draws no pay, but he come home with stuff and you ask no questions. Hey, but Chris, where you got these stuff?
What you studying that for?
You ask no questions. So You become a part of the
problem. When you harbor and you stick up for them because they sprinkle little nice things across the place for you and make you feel as if they're the real ones protecting your community.
And you hear any kind of crime that happening, right? And I want to go back to Salim, because Salim didn't get, it wasn't grammar zone, it wasn't a cutlass, it wasn't a pen knife.
Nope.
It was bullets. And I want that to sink in people's psyche. It is bullets. It is not a piece of rope. It's not a knife that is sharpened in the backyard or whatever the case may be. It's guns and ammunition. You ever call it that?
Yeah. Afternoon, you're on the street. Sorry for letting you hold there for a while.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Dream.
Good afternoon.
And your co-host. Yes, I think that the government has a crime plan, and they need to roll out that plan. When I say put it into effect, operationalize that plan as soon as possible. I think they spend some time, months or probably years, visiting different communities, holding conversation with members of the various communities. And yes, a plan. If not made, they have a plan. But I'm saying that they need to operationalize that plan. And crime has to be dealt with in this country in a holistic fashion. So you have to look at the entire criminal justice system. You have to look at, yes, the police. You have to look at victims. You have to look at the offenders. You need to look at the secondary victim, the primary victim. You need to look at the court system. You need to look at the probation. You need to look at the judicial system, as I said. You need to look at the prison. All these things must be dealt with, right? So you to sensitize and to find out what is taken, how they're functioning, what needs to be done, what is not being done, and bring about the kind of change that is required to deal with crime. Going back to the communities again, you can't stay in Port of Spain and deal with crime. You have to get into the police, have to get into those communities, as I think your caller Chris said. You need to mobilize it, sensitize the population. You need to get in there. For example, if you have Lavantil, you need police force. You need to have, from time to time, get the experts, those people who are trained in social work and whatnot, to go into those communities. You need to educate the population.
Correct.
You have pamphlets, you have all these things you need to do within those communities. You can't stay in Port of Spain and solve crime sit down in your cushy desk, or you're in Port of Spain down by Besor Street and you sit down in the police station there. There's certain parts of Trinidad where crime, by police action, crime has decreased significantly. And I know one. And if it is working in one or two communities, then that should be the master plan. You could apply it in other communities because you have been successful. They're not doing that. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm thinking that they're apparently demotivated, and demotivated for a number of reasons. Again, I suspect the problem within the police service may be one of favoritism, nepotism, and that people not being promoted, because a lot of people who in the police service, educated people, and they left the police service because of the system of promotion. Every commissioner that come after 2-3 years, they change the format for promotion to facilitate different. So you don't have the best people at the top. And a former police commissioner alluded to that. I think it was Mr. Williams. He said that they need help. The management of the police service, the top brass, they need help. And you can't step in Port of Spain, come out from activities and say crime down 2 days. Partner, you have to find strategies. You have strategies that have worked in other jurisdictions. You find out what has worked well as a police commissioner and try to implement them here. Adapt them to your local conditions. You need to modify them. The police, they have to become more aggressive. You have to get these policemen, you as the leader, the people at the top of the police service, you have to become more vigilant. You have to become more aggressive. When I say aggressive, not to go and shoot man all about the place without it. I'm talking about you have to be moving within the communities, right? Putting things or plans or whatnot in place to deal with it. But as I said, I don't want to be too long. You cannot stay in your push it, then in whatever police station and you have. Let me just make a reference. In the 60s and 70s, you had police walking through the communities. That might be difficult now. At night, you see them with their dark uniform and what they torchlight. The police were ever present there. And there's a particular area where it worked. Whole day, the morning, the evening, the police and that place used to have murders in droves. But it is working, and they need to apply that strategy among other things. But I'm saying you need to look at the entire criminal justice system, and you need to focus on the communities. You need programs for the communities, sporting communities. You need educational programs. You need to build the people's self-esteem and self-worth in the communities. Right? Debates, public speaking, to build their self-esteem. Most of them don't have confidence. Most of them in their own self. Thank you.
Thank you. Can't say he wrong. Can't say he wrong at all.
Boy, this place, this place that we sit down and we really encourage too much of nonsense.
God, I have two phones ringing and I don't know which number to answer.
Take anyone,
I'm gonna go with this one. I'll go with this one. Good afternoon, on the street.
Gentlemen, that caller before, right? He was very well intentioned, and he spoke about a lot of things we will call the mighty precious value ideas, right? But I want you to mash your brakes right now and be focused. Why was the constabulary formed? Why was the police department formed? Just pay attention to what I'm saying to you. Why was the constabulary formed? What was the mandate of the constabulary when it was formed? You have any idea?
You can't ask me. I'm the foreigner, so I'm not. I wouldn't be able to get that answer.
Good. So you see, this is the problem. Not you know, because they're supposed to inform you otherwise. Your colonizer will not educate you. Your colonizer will give you certificates, but they will not educate you. The constabulary was formed to protect the colonizer's interest. The colon, you know what is the colon? The colonizer's interest then. So if that was the mandate and the reason why it was formed, you really think it is going to get much better? Because the colonizer's interest is dissipating, but they continue to make the money that they set out to make all the time, isn't it? I'm making sense to you?
You go ahead. We're listening.
Right. And that is why the Rasta man said that his job, you know, the Rasta man who is very, very learned and he been there for a long time. He was a police, then he become a Rasta man and all kind of things. You know what I'm talking about, right? I like to call him name. But he didn't go up for office the other day, but he said his duty was not to make the people feel safe and secured. And his boss, who gave him the job, was never firing him from the job because his boss know what his job descriptions were, and he was carrying out his work. You're able to make sense out of the nonsense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not confusing you, right?
No. We listening, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
After the contribution of the gentleman who is very well intentioned, he spoke about some mighty precious values. After you listen to that, then ask yourself, was the constabulary formed to do the things that he believed they're supposed to be doing?
You there?
But it was formed to do something else.
Losing you there?
Huh?
We might have lost him there.
I said, you hear me?
We have some
Hello?
coming up. Oh,
You
wait.
hearing me?
Oh, no. Go ahead. We have to...
Right.
Yeah.
You hearing me on?
Yeah. Just ask that question real quick because we got to take a break.
All right. Later.
All right. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah.
How many seconds before the break then?
Yeah, about 8-ish there.
8 seconds?
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right.
Yeah, we got to go into it, but we will be back, guys, so keep it locked right here to the streets.
And so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Hi, I'm Valentine Garcia.
And I'm Nikki Garcia.
Please join us on the Final Hour broadcast every Thursday at 9 a.m. on the Street 919 FM radio.
Every week we will journey into the amazing Word of God. So please join us.
See you then.
Young people of our nation, ignite your wellness journey with Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan with Princess Omega and Associates. Prevent ill health today and reap the benefit of good health tomorrow. Join us every second and fourth Saturday of each month at 9:25 a.m. to 9:55 a.m., where we bring to you innovative health solutions. Invest in yourself today by ensuring that you're enjoying optimum health. We are located at number 3, 7th Avenue North via the Eastern Main Road, Barataria. For further information, please call or WhatsApp us at 868-310-8671 or 364-4464. Remember, at Nature's Touch, your health is our priority.
Trinidad, let's do it. White Oak One Caribbean Music Festival, Saturday, May 31st at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain, Trinidad. The king of dancehall, Vibes Cartel. The legendary Sizzla Kalonji, mega superstar Molly. Get your tickets now.
Physical tickets available at all cachet outlets. Frankie's on the Avenue, Solera Wines and Spirits, Hubby's, Waterhole, South Trinidad, New Wave Apparel, Swax Collection, Angry Grande, Bobby's Bar, Westby's Supermarket, Terminal 4, Long Circular Mall, Ultimate Car Care Solution, Trailblazer, San Fernando, Marco Polo, Cipriani Boulevard, Big Life Apparel location, Whipped Restaurant, 1 Woodbrook Place, 519 Restaurant and Bar, C3 Mall San Fernando, Bush Nightlife, Superior, Hubby's Barbershop, Port Mall Scarborough, Jade, Monkey, Crown Point, Waterholics, Pigeon Point, East Bay Fashion, Spring Garden, and Wendy's Wholesalers. Online at islandetickets.com, frontlineticketing.com, or OneCaribbeanMusicFestival.com. For more info, call 794-6263.
White Oak One Caribbean Music Festival, Saturday, May 31st.
Powered by California Stucco. Sponsored by FT Car Care Center and B-Mobile.
Fire Mood Fridays on the Street 919 FM with yours truly, MC Duke and Selector Kochi. All genres of music from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Make it a date and don't be late. Rock and come in. Fire Mood Fridays, Club 919 FM. You don't know.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282. Or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Think you've got the spark to light up the airwaves or the drive to seal the next big deal? The Street 919 FM is on the hunt for fresh voices and bold talent. Whether you're a natural-born entertainer ready to command the mic or a savvy sales star ready to crush targets, this is your chance to shine with the station that defends the nation. Radio stars bring the energy, passion, and charisma. We're looking for dynamic personalities to electrify our airwaves. Sales executives, if you're a go-getter with the hunger to succeed and build lasting relationships, we want you on our team. Show us what you've got. Send your demo or resume today to the Street 919 FM at gmail.com and take your shot at greatness. The Street 919 FM, the official station that defends the nation. Join the movement. Become the next big thing.
Hi there.
I'm Lester Suklal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna, for the program Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
The wait is finally over. The Street 919 FM is powering up its digital presence with the launch of its vibrant new website, www.thestreet919fm.com. Now you can take the energy of the street with you wherever you go. Immerse yourself in a dynamic world of the hottest music, thought-provoking talk shows, exclusive interviews, and non-stop entertainment. Stay informed with the latest news updates and essential information, all just a click away. Don't miss out on being part of the Street 919 FM community online. Head over to www.thestreet919fm.com today and experience the rhythm of the street like never before.
Join the winning team with Pastor Alkaline John
every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to 12 noon and every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m.
live on the Street 919 FM as he talks about Lviv, the power of 5 fruits, one of the most powerful antioxidant supplements on the market today. The 5 superfruits in Lviv are mangosteen, acai, pomegranate, goji, and nuni. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health performance and disease. Join him as he gives live testimonials of the Lviv healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079, or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com. Remember,
every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to 12 noon and every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m.
live on the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Live on the Temple Takeover, Street 919 FM. DJ Anderson, yours truly, Hashim the Dream. I wanted to start the hour by getting this voice note out because it was there, and I was, because we had such a influx of calls, I almost forgot about it. But I'm going to run it right now. Good afternoon to my boy Chris. And everybody else that's locked in. Let's take this in.
Yeah, brothers, what I'm saying, what is happening is we paying people to do our job, and they have not been able to effectively do the job because all evidence points to most of the efforts going into one category and not exploring other categories that could bear fruitful results, right? That will benefit everyone. Now, we have police living all over the country, in every community, right? Many of them not working nowhere close to home, right? And we just comfortable as a nation here in the police talk about hotspots and hotspots. How come a normal civilian or a group of normal civilians could run and control and take charge over our community, can the police do that also? Can the police be the community leaders? Can the police be the people who put in on the events and knowing exactly what's taking place in your own community? If any group rise up and trying to come at all you have the whole support of the rest of the entire police service behind you. But no, we just have people working so very far from home, and then people have to bring information to the police as if the police not living in a community. Boy, the list is long, very, very long. I locked on.
Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Now, I think one of the reasons why they may not want that officers from one community doesn't work in the community that they live is because of that thing, conflict of interest. And also, boy, sometimes what you believe might be good might end up to be the worst thing ever. Because this is when they are not a part of the solution, but a part of the problem.
Yeah, but the part of that conflict, oh Lord, sorry, caller, call back. Yeah, the problem with that whole conflict of interest thing is that then you have people who are based in those communities who then do not invest in said community because that's not where they're from. And they don't really want to get too involved or familiar with anybody there for whatever reason, you know. Mr. President.
Yes, President again. It has certain statements that really bring certain things. I want to point out something here. The interview that my brother talked about, yeah, that is nice. If I was to be not conscious, it could be very nice, but I'm conscious enough to know that right now where I sit down here and where you two sit down there, an interview could happen. Because all I interviewed really need is questions. And as long as the answerer could answer, that is an interview.
That's
right. So I go on from there and talk about Brother Hines, Minister Hines. I call him name. Other black man, he's a black man. Me ain't going, I'm not disrespecting him, nothing. As a matter of fact, I'm going and pump him. I will tell you why. When we had the long set of talk about crime and crime and crime, Mr. Hines come out and say, he said where the crime happening in his, I will put it in one word, in his institutes. The judges, the parliament, the cabinet, the all day. That is what he said. He's a black man just like me, and somehow I don't know who is who. I ain't saying you. But know yourself. That's what he said as a black man in Trinidad and Tobago. He said the crime is around the institutes that he is part of. But who owns he? Who rules he? Who rules he is the same massa and them that rule the whole system. What do you think the police and them go do? The police ain't doing nothing much more than they should do. I remember Gary Griffith and all the bacchanal level top of Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith went down in a hole somewhere, down in a hole there, and he decided to interfere with some people and get when he walked back, we see where he ended up. By the gangs, you know, the same gangs where they just talk about. There's where Gary ended up eventually after he couldn't go down in the nether kind of whitey gang. Oh, they can't remember in them thing. I don't remember by how much politics I know and how much religion I know. And I remember by the natural story of my society, the natural story of my environment. I remember. For me, I really had the brain to hold on no 3 million words in one book, which is what they give it to do. So, what I want to say here is that as long as the authorities and them do not, and you know, authority does start from religion, you know, I'm telling you all there. All them not spiritualism. Religion does start from there because it's religion will rule the place. And I will tell you how. Because all politicians religious. So they're following the religion, morals, and whatever it is. I'm not saying that spirituality ain't good, but I'm not saying that the Bible may not have some disciplines. What I am saying is people manipulate people. They use what they know to manipulate others. And that is the society today. If me and you and we can start with a unity, our association, our organization, acknowledging these things, and put it in, like, according to the same scripture say, in my Father's house there are many mansions. Every ministry is a mansion. And the Father's house, it identifies with the word truth. So every mansion has to deal with truth, with every discipline that every mansion, because there is 12 mansions, and those 12 mansions carry 12 different disciplines. Each discipline dealing with truth, so they can't come off key at all. They have to stay with it, and the leader in the center is the son. Well, whoever that son go be is either is a serious moral man, a spiritual man, a serious politician man, but still saying morals come from spirituality. These are the things we need to do for the society. We can't control the society by no one single man. No one single man out here, especially greed, selfishness, lack of respect, lack of appreciation. Those are active in all of us. It's which one you choose to activate you. So that's what activating we. If we put disciplines to activate we. Those kind of ignorant consciousness carry it. It wouldn't be there because you're using morals and consciousness. You're using good discipline, tolerance, and production to rule you. Hey, people, that is how it is. It's just simple talk, simple truth. Truth that we're supposed to live with to make the night no, but we want to live with the evil, so the evil will bring evil in. If you live with the truth, you will get truth. If you call yourself a God and say, but live God-like, because you know what is God-likeness. If you call yourself a human and humans say we is animals, how you going to live? Not like an animal. I think we better make the difference between God and human and see where we could get from it. If I are human, it look to me again on animalish. But if I say I is a God, and we break in from saying we are God, and we are gods of survival, we ain't gods of creation, we are gods of survival. But if we break in from saying that we are God, then we go still living like the animal. My Lord, what are we living? I think it's the animal. God.
Thank you for your contribution. Now the dream. You know what president remind me of? Lion King. You know the monkey.
Rafiki. You can't talk to me about Lion King in your conversation. That's my favorite movie. So
the laughter.
Yeah, that's it. I had to dig deep for it. I could do my impressions.
Well, it's the same sort of laughter that I get from President when President, is making his comments, and he obviously lets out that humorous side of him. So yes, he reminds me of watching Lion King and what's his name again?
Rafiki.
Rafiki?
Yeah.
Rafiki. Correct. So based on the conversation going on so far, persons would have given a lot of different views or opinions on exactly what is going on in the community and exactly what they believe is causing crime and so forth. You would agree or disagree with me?
I'd agree.
Right. So now that we are established exactly where we are, I want to dig a little deeper. So I want to change gears a bit. Right. Now that we pointed out exactly that yes, we identified that we do have a crime problem, and And even before I shift the gear, I want to reiterate something that, or I shouldn't even say reiterate, but just mention something that our current Prime Minister told her ministers, and when she was being sworn in as the Prime Minister, and even at the opening of Parliament, she mentioned to them that if they figure they're high and mighty and they're not doing their job, and they are, because she said that she looked at the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago as her children. So she said, you know how a mother feels when her children are being attacked. So if it is that you're not treating her children properly, she will deal with you. So I want to tell the Honorable Prime Minister, right? I am not too sure the HR department works within the government and ministers and so forth. But what I want to tell the Prime Minister is that I want her to treat her ministers like you give them, you see, like how bread, homemade bread is being on a shelf. You see, you know the shelf life of homemade bread?
Yeah.
It's short. Right. That's the warranty that should come with these ministers.
Right.
If it is that you're not doing your job and there's no sort of improvement within your ministry, then after that short warranty, you need to see the exit. You need to see that exit door, and let somebody else, or the person who could get the job done, let them serve.
Yeah, I agree. I'm even put a suggestion out there right after this call right there. Good afternoon, you're on the street.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to your co-host.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I want to speak to the next host.
Anderson?
Yes, Anderson. Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson.
Good afternoon.
I called back from the last time with Mr. COP when I made my prediction, and they said that you cannot end up people can't make predictions. Was my prediction correct? Didn't it have shooting in San Fernando as I told them on whatever it is? So you see, now I'm for the short period of time I was listening to your programs here. And you know, people say talking. Listen to one scholar and doing psychoanalysis on basically each one topic, right? It's some intelligence. Here I say it's some intelligence, but you know everything that starts from your thoughts, right? So it cannot end up. I'm thinking, no, everybody says that the police. But I heard nobody talking about individual responsibilities, because they're talking about the community and people. If we keep looking for somebody outside of us to solve our problems internally, then definitely it does not make any sense. Because if people does not going to use their thoughts and commit crimes, then basically, the police, how are the police going to be able to do that? Do we have going to be putting chips into people's brain, so then basically as they start thinking a crime, yet would be able to register thing? We have to look at our individual self and basically our training, our background, how people grow up and all these sort of things, and what we are encouraging. Then basically there's bad crime. But I mean, right now we do have criminal, and then when you're speaking of crime, what you're speaking about? White-collar crime criminals, because basically we do have a lot of white-collar criminals that's laced with white-collar criminals. Even right now in the government, we have a government of white-collar criminals, because they're out of their records. We have who are pedophiles and all these, who deal in human trafficking and all these sorts of things. There's controversy with the House Speaker presently. So I really looking at what it is that we are speaking about. And how it is that we are going to look at somebody else come to deal with something else, that we are trying to correct the problems for ourselves. If it is that people in the community says that, okay, well, we don't want so-and-so, and because there are lots of communities in this country that basically a lot of those things don't go on. We don't hear that so much in basically in Cascade and those big areas. They have certain systems that they have set up, right? And I guess in the same poor class communities, they are what we call the gang leaders. So they have their systems. But what type of system is these people exercising in their community, and what are they letting to flourish? You see, because basically, if people, children are outside, we have alcohol selling free. People trends outside, everything is free, easy. Nobody's correcting nobody. Nobody's looking at saying, what do you expect? And then we're gonna expect that to say that the police would come and solve it. You see, I keep asking myself questions. And they keep coming back to basically what it is that the individual decides to do. Because no change is going to happen unless the people make the changes for themselves. If the people in the community said, okay, this is going on, we have lost a lot of children and this and all these kinds of things, we come together as a community and we decide we don't want that, and then they can change it for themselves like that, because they would make that decision and they will police in their own selves, in the scene that those things that they don't want does not exist in the community. But without that, I guess basically all we'll be doing is having talk shops. It's sounding good and everybody think, but I guess basically words and action ain't going together. So that basically we getting nowhere. We just basically having talk.
So
shops.
you didn't realize lunch finished a long time. You was sitting in the back there. Come in front of the class.
Lord, you need to
come in front of the class.
Hold on, you need to warn me when you tell me them things. Hold on. I have it there. Watch it. I got you sound effects now. Yeah. Put sound effects for.
Thank you so much for your contribution, caller.
Thanks very much. Yeah, man, I got the things.
So I want us to hold up on the calls for a minute, because I want to make sure and squeeze in this last part of my editorial for today, because I know in the last hour I want to leave it free.
Yeah.
For our segment, right? And I know that I want people to be going home and have a laughter as well. So the conversation today again was all about crime and what are we doing in our communities and so forth. And I stress that, it's not as simple as somebody just walking and pelting somebody with a big stone. These people are walking now with some high powerful rifles and ammunition. And what I want to ask Trinidad and Tobago, ask the listeners of the Street 919 FM, are we really ready for guns? Attorney General John Jeremy just dropped that bombshell on Trinidad and Tobago. And he said that Trinidad and Tobago is set to become the first country in the Caribbean to introduce stand your ground legislation. That means if someone steps into your home with bad intentions, you will have the legal right to defend yourself with force, even lethal force, without duty to retreat. Sounds empowering, right? But hold on. We're living in a society where tempers are short, respect is low, and conflict resolution often means who can shout louder or now who can shoot first. So I'm asking you, my real tempo takeover family, do we trust our citizens to carry this kind of power responsibly? Will this make our homes safer or just turn every disagreement into a deadly standoff? And deeper still, how do we balance self-defense with the real fear that more guns could mean more innocent lives lost? Look, I get it. We're tired of crime. We're fed up of being victims in our own homes. But is stand your ground the fix or just fuel to an already blazing fire?
No.
So that's my question.
And that's my answer.
Within this last hour here, well, before we go into the segment, I should say, I asked some serious questions there, and I want you guys to be a part of the conversation, be a part of the show. 342-0081. 466-5391. You could send your voice notes as well. Are we ready to walk around with guns blazing in our hands because we believe that this is the way out? Are we really ready for that?
I hope all you could see my head shaking on the live, right? Because
I was going to ask you if you're okay, and I see your head shaking.
No. And we gonna talk before I take some calls because.
So you understand why I wanted the first question about what happening, and you realize the second part of it, right?
Yeah.
So you're seeing how it tie. So now that I really want to find out from Trinidad and Tobago, where we really going?
I want to know where we're really going to. This is the point we have reached, to the point now that we are about to pass a law that says, hey, you cross me too bad in my home, I will...
What's the Trinidad thing again? How did they say it?
Load up your
Matic,
clock it, and knock it.
And knock it again. Again.
Yeah.
Are we ready for that, Trinidad and Tobago? Are we ready?
No.
What we doing?
No. Because man will shoot you down for saying that ketchup go and pillow. Yeah, bring it back from yesterday. Again, I'm still very neutral when it comes to that. But no, seriously, on a serious note, that is a bad place to go. I'm not for it. Because everyone's tempers are different. The slightest thing just set people off these days.
You telling me?
Right? Furthermore, not even to get into the implications of adults carrying legal firearms within their home. Suppose a child find those guns. What do you say then? If your child knows where you keep your firearm and happens to swipe it when you are unawares and shows up into school with that weapon, y'all really sure you're thinking this through? I'm not for it, Ando. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I really don't think that with the state of how we are right now as a nation, that is the way forward. It's not for me.
But keep in mind that this current administration, this was one of the top things on their campaign promises on most of their platforms. They made sure that they stressed on this. And in their manifesto, this is one of it. This is the first on the list. That passing this, and they believe that this would help in curbing our current crime situation.
I can't see it. I can't see it as a help. I see it more as a hindrance. Or in some circles, they might see it as a challenge. Right now, there are circles in this community that simply just defy law on principle. I wake up and I'm ready to start stripping this. Right? I am going to break into somebody's house, and if he pull out something on me, I will light him up.
Maybe
that is the mindset of some people
I think too. The dream. I think that Trinidad and Tobago might say that Anderson and the Dream frightened, they coward.
Yeah.
They might say that we not ready for it, but the rest of the world probably ready for it. The rest of Trinidad and Tobago probably ready for it. I want to hear from the callers.
You could say what you want about me. Call me coward all you want. I will call myself free when you go to jail for blowing off somebody's head. Despite whatever the law might say, right? The stand your ground law, or you kill a man with self-defense. How many of y'all actually out there knows what it means to take a life? Some of us chanting, yes, yes. Give me the chance to defend myself. Have you taken a life before? A human life. Not no bug that your girl asked you to squish because she was frightened. Or a rat you had to poison because it was running around in your cupboard.
Three chicken you mind 3 months ago and it reached 10 pounds, and all of a sudden you think you could kill.
Some of y'all too squeamish. Some of y'all too squeamish to kill your own wild meat. Some of y'all couldn't kill your own iguana for wild meat. But you ready to take a life? Are you sure?
And they're saying, based on some of the persons who are dealing with FULs and so forth, they're saying that right now a lot of women, more women actually, are interested in pursuing and going through the procedure and getting the FUL. You know, a lot of women, they're saying, actually want to, you know, get the FUL and to own their firearm. And to me, it's like, we have so much guns on the street. We're seeing what is happening. And that is why I really asked that question. Are we ready for more guns? Because more guns will be on the street, you know.
Yeah. Because what are the statistics that every person that what are the chances, I should say, that every person defending their homes with a firearm will succeed? Suppose you are not quick enough on that draw.
Well, it will be a Western show.
When you're not quick on that draw and you laying down, dying up, bleeding out on your kitchen floor, he gone about his ways and he has 2 firearms now. What then? What then? I was waiting for a while to take the calls. I know the line's blowing up, guys. I know the line's blowing up, but I really wanted us, me and Ando, to get these points across because I know y'all gonna have some speeches for us in this final half hour of discussion. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
My point on this whole scenario here, more than ever, this country needs guns to protect the law-abiding citizen. What your co-host talking is a set of nonsense. Because what he feel that everybody just trigger happy in the country and that's waiting to kill somebody. So why they don't ban cars from the road then? Because then everybody should take a car and just bounce into somebody and kill somebody because of the frustration that we're facing on the road. So his argument is totally ridiculous.
So wait, you're basing road frustration on...
I'm basing you are saying that everybody just on a knife edge in this country that's waiting that as soon as they give them guns, they go kill everybody.
I think you missed...
I think you missed the point, but thanks very much for your contribution.
No, I ain't finished yet. And you see, right now, the people who have the guns are the ones them who is trigger happy. The ones them who is invading people. I don't know if he ever get robbed or his home was invaded by people with arms and ammunition and brutalize your family while you had to sit down and watch and then come and talk in this rubbish. Let me tell you something. Have you ever lived anywhere else besides in Trinidad?
You're speaking to me or you're speaking to Mr. Anderson?
Your co-host there.
I guess you.
You speaking to?
To you.
No, you go ahead and you make your contribution, caller.
No,
let me tell you something. The safety that you would feel out of Trinidad, where people is entitled to stand their ground and carry firearms, you feel much more safer outside there than you're in your own country. And you ask yourself why that is. Because not everybody goes out there. Yes, they would have the occasion where something might go contrary to the scenario, like somebody might go and take up a gun and kill somebody or some kind of thing like that. But the general feelings of being safe in your own homes as a law-abiding citizen, we don't have that here anymore. And it's all because of the criminal elements empower themselves to a point where they feel that they can do whatever they want to people in this country and get away with it. The police don't have the solution to solve the crime. The government don't have the solution to solve the crime. So what law-abiding citizens must do now? Just remain there and wait for your turn to be the next victim of crime. When they are telling you, okay, fine, we're going to empower now the citizens to have a little level playing field now that, okay, the police cannot be in every household, the government cannot pass legislation to protect everybody, but at least we are giving you all an opportunity to defend yourself and your family. And then we hearing this nonsense that everybody will be trigger happy and they shoot off like this Wild Wild West. The Wild Wild West, everybody had guns a long time and they never kill out each other like how we talking and exaggerating this nonsense about if people get guns now it will be a shootout like if it's some kind of mad set of people running thing. Nobody don't want to kill nobody. people just want to know that how they are safe, and when they are law-abiding citizens, they feel that they have some rights also to protect themselves and their family, and it's simply like that. Have a good afternoon, gentlemen.
All right, thanks for your contribution.
Have a good afternoon. I think you're semi-missing the point that
I don't know which frequency he probably was listening to. I think he probably just put on his radio, and I really would have loved to engage him a little more. But let me make it abundantly clear. No one said that they shouldn't do it. The question was asked, are we ready for guns? And obviously we point out different scenarios, different things that are happening and could happen, right? But nobody is saying that, okay, that we shouldn't get the guns, period. What we're saying is, are we ready for the guns? And everybody is open for and should have an opinion. And I think that everybody could ask a question. It's not that, okay, because you are in agreement of it, that everybody else's opinion doesn't matter. That's not how it is.
Good afternoon, you're on the street.
Good afternoon, my brother Dream and my brother Ann.
What's up, Stefan? What's up? You hearing me good? Oh gosh. The connection?
Because there are a lot of people talking to the aliens. Therefore, you know, your partner who is said we'll bring back the cattle line. So you see why I was asking for the cattle line. If we can cut them, beat them when they're young, we can cut them, beat them when they get old. So they're against hanging. They're against hanging. They're against cattle line. They're against hard labor, right? But yet still, we asking that how mature we as a society, because if you walk around since the COVID came and went, society, the brotherhood and the love and the unity, we don't have existing in 100% again. We now starting to try to love one another and to embrace one another. And stigma and hate in the citizens of this country. Now, yes, it's right. Just as a hunter who does hunt game will have a shot.
Your connection gone. Aye. Stefan, Stephen Anderson.
Eradication.
Yeah,
it seems so much trouble to get it, right? To get one.
Hold on.
And we don't know.
Hold on, sorry. We lost you there for a second. You might have to go back a bit.
But the thing about it...
You there? Are you going again? Yeah. Sorry about that, Stephen. Check your signal. You need to call back. Good afternoon. You're on the street.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
With all due respect, anyone out there ever experienced a home invasion?
I have been blessed to not experience a home invasion.
Yeah, but with the fella with the blue jersey talking, only African could have gone in.
What? Wait, say that again?
Only African could have gone in to rape and rob Indian people. That way he.
Whoa. Nah, no sir.
Yeah,
sir.
You're totally off.
You are way off there.
Yeah, totally off. Yeah.
Race was not involved in this conversation at all. All right?
Crazy.
No, sir. That's not what's going on here.
Yeah.
Please wheel and come again, respectfully.
Yeah, if it is that you cannot have, matter of fact, I'm not even going to respond to that. Moving on.
We are not going down that road.
Moving on.
All right?
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you're going right.
We good, you know?
I hear always talking about this stand your ground law. Okay? I want to find out something. For that law to be passed in Trinidad, do we need a special majority with the government have, or we need a constitutional majority? Anybody could answer that for me? For starters.
That I will have to.
We'll have to investigate.
To me, I believe that they would need a majority.
Hello.
Constitutionally, right?
Yeah.
No. It's either they need a special majority, what they have, or they need a constitutional majority.
Right.
Okay?
Constitutional.
Now hear me. Anytime they need a constitutional majority, that ain't going to happen. All right? Let me move on. You hear what I say?
Yeah.
Anytime they need a constitutional majority, they need 3 more votes to have a constitutional majority. That ain't going to happen. All right? Let me move on.
Right.
If a fella jump over your wall, come in your yard, and you use your licensed firearm, and you disarm him, okay? He's disarmed.
Right.
If you empty the clip on him while you already disarm him and he disables you, you know what that is?
That's murder.
Thank you.
Slaughter.
I'm on.
All right.
Thank you so much. Now again, before we move on, because
I need you to listen to Ando's question, because I feel we're getting a little too tied up in this one.
Yeah.
We're getting a little emotional in this one, and I understand it's a pretty serious question. But the question, once again, guys, is the nation ready?
Correct. Are we ready for guns? Do we trust our citizens to carry this kind of power and responsibility? I'm not talking about only you, but I'm talking about persons who you interact with, persons, strangers, your family. Because I am sure that you may even know someone who may tell you that, okay, I want a gun, but you know personally that that person mightn't be the righteous person,
right,
to hold a gun in their hand. So
even if they don't commit crime, right?
Do we trust our citizens to carry this kind of power and responsibility? Will this make our homes safer, or just turn every disagreement into a deadly standoff? And mind you, by saying that, imagine by just giving those questions, a caller already calling here to talk about race. And it's simple things like that does escalate into worst case scenarios.
Thank you. Good afternoon, you're on the street. Zach.
Good afternoon, brothers.
How you doing?
KFC.
I'm not coming from a parachute today.
I
hear racial caller talk about African and this gun.
Hey, we hung him up one time. We don't tolerate that around here.
So like we go and arm the nation with guns, you know, it's law abiding citizens go and get guns, you know. You feel you go get a gun? You feel you go get a gun? You feel you go get a gun?
No, but KFC, you understand the question? The question I'm asking is just if we're ready for guns, if we're ready to give that responsibility to people. This has nothing to do with race, party, color your skin.
None of that.
Yeah, understand, yeah. If you're a law by the citizens and you're not with the law, you know, it's a legit businessman. Me ain't getting a gun, you ain't getting a gun, Harry ain't getting a gun, John ain't getting a gun. If you go and arm the whole nation with guns out. But that call with that racial thing, keep your racial behavior by yourself now. I love to understand.
Yeah. I ain't even think that caller might get a gun.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
How you doing?
I am okay. I want to say that I think that you also, on the host, is also getting emotional too.
I won't deny that, but go ahead.
I was on the other line. You take the call. I was on the 4 number, and about 3 calls you take on my head, so I have to call this number. You take the call and you take calls. So otherwise, I know you lost track and emotional, because this conversation is a very emotional, political conversation. And if you cannot handle it, this is it. But then you didn't talk about it because it's very emotional. It will go down the road of being racist. It will go down the road of being all kind of things, because it is my party in power. We support it. But I want to make it clear that promises make, promises kept. As one of you said there, I don't know who. I wanted the caller who was calling in, and I know he's a UNC caller, and he was calling, and he was saying that we're talking Squash Talk. I think that if you should have seen you disagree with the host, you cannot disrespect the host in that kind of manner. Yes, all you have to tell the host, you have disagree what they say and make a point. But saying he was talking foolishness and stupidness, that was very also emotional. Because the talk is emotional, right? And it is a party promises talk, so people will get emotional talk. But again, I say, promises make, promises keep. As one of you said there, that was a championship from day one. Over 3 years now, the leader, now the Prime Minister of this country, was talking about that. And you could talk, the court could talk, the country gave her a mandate to carry out her policy. 26 seats. The vote for stand your law grounds. The vote for that. And the fact remains that you must be processed before you get the gun. And as a person with common sense, that if you have a gun in your house and you have children, you have to train your children. This is a gun. This is something dangerous. Do not go for it. You have to teach your children about the guns in your house. If you can't have guns in your house, and let's sit in a corner and then tell a child that you have a gun in the house, and you say in the child gun, looking. So you have to train it. And I will go so far by saying you have to also train the child to use the gun to protect himself or herself. If anybody intrude in the house, I will answer as the owner of the gun. I will answer. So you will be going under polytest, you will be going under training, you will be going, you will think. So by being so saying that it is not something what people can have guns. Yes, it wouldn't be us, because if you see a man come in your yard going and pick fruits, and you kill a man for going and pick a mango on your tree, you could be locked up, you could be jailed. The man don't have no weapon, he's going and think that was heavy force you use. But if you see a man coming at your house with a gun or with a cutlass, and you can break and say, hey, wait, don't wait. So it will have it will have drastic laws for people who haven't gone and see that, yes, I have a licensed firearm and I can just do what I want. It will have laws for people. So let me say, you are East Indian and they say a black man come in your house, in a yard, and be a black in the and shoot him. It will have backlash on that. So I know I wait to see what it is they're going to bring in the lower house. I think that is one of the agenda of the first lane of the parliament, is that is one of the agenda. But again, that was a campaign promises. And over 400,000 people vote for the UNC government to carry out that mandate, that stand-alone grows. It is not but boss it, and knock it. No. That was just a slang to get the vote to carry on the policy. It wouldn't be a YY West. It wouldn't be a running down a road. And I asked other because I know you're young in the business, and this work is very stressful. It's like running a country. It will get emotional. It will get heated. People will want to attack all your label, all your follow things because of what you're saying and what
Cola, trust me, I might be very young into this, but I'm very much seasoned, and I know that there are callers and there would be people who would have different opinions. It's just that we had to disconnect that caller, because we are not going to tolerate anybody that goes down the road with race. Because, mind you, the question that we ask, and I want to make it abundantly clear, has nothing to do with the party that you support at the end of the day. We are not here talking about if it is that, the PNM is right, or the UNC is right, or the NTA is right.
Yeah, but sometimes you go say something and they look at you leaning on the other side.
Correct.
Of course.
That is how the country is. We country is a two-system party. You cannot be independent. There's nothing about independent. It's either you total party line or not total party line.
That's the people who now put on their radio station and have not realized that the sort of show that Anderson and my boy here.
I hope also the dream. Stand on the ground. I hope also stand along with what you're saying, all people is so independent and not going to go down a party politics route by being a CNN, by being
that's not what this about. That's not what this about at all.
Because honestly, you can say about 10 years. I see many goes and many come, and I still here calling him. But many goes, I see Kingsley. I see many goes and many come. So I'm an old veteran in this game, right? So I hope that all this stay independent the way all it is. I will advise you to snipe out who's the PNM, who's the UNC, and who's the independent.
We learn it.
It have agenda.
We will learn who is who. We will learn who is who. But
and they will attack all you.
So, but no need to fear. No need to fear on that.
But
this is my first call.
But thank you so much. But let me tell you something, caller. Please do not be a stranger. And I appreciate and I welcome callers. I welcome callers like you all to be there to protect us, to be there to guide us, because we are not only here to inform, but we are here to learn as well.
That was calling to can I get a little thing that. And I'm not a stranger to 91.9. I'm a veteran on this whole station. I know everybody pass and go. But I know that for your professional is at a program, and I'm going to support the program. But once both of us stay independent and not go down a party, because sometimes I am a UNC. I am a UNC, but sometimes I really, if I see something bad, I'm a rebel person. I don't give a damn. I will be asking questions about many things I'll see, but because the statement what Roger Alexander said about police doing work to take sick leave, it is a damaging statement to the police service of Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm asking Roger Alexander, because it's a serious concern to set police is taking sick leave to dog work. It is a serious allegation, serious damage on the police service, and I'm asking, where is the evidence? Where is the evidence and the facts on that? And I do not know, because he was a former police officer, so he might be know things what I do not know. He might be know. Because he is stating that the Minister of Homeland Security is stating that police are and I think that if that is happening, police must be accountable, because you cannot run from your work. That is the job to protect and serve. So, as I said that I am a UNC, but everybody who thinks is a rebel UNC, I just say the UNC leave me, I never leave the UNC. But I speak country, I speak for people, but I might have a favorite, I might like favorite. Okay, brother? So you two gentlemen have a nice day, and sorry for taking up all this time.
Nah, that's all right.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, oh Lord. Guys, we're running out of time here. I feel we're going to have to put this conversation for tomorrow as well, because, no, the amount of missed calls we have here already, and we don't take the 3-minute mark. But I want to really specify, guys, that, once again, the question is, are we ready, right? And me, from the outset, it is a no for me, that I do not believe we are ready. Not because I don't feel that some people are competent enough to have a weapon in their homes, right, to defend themselves. Not because I don't believe that they don't have a right to defend themselves. We do. We absolutely do. But the way my mind works, I am always thinking of these situations that will come further down the line. Okay, you have a firearm and you've defended yourself. You unfortunately had to pull a trigger, and it sadly ended in the life of the invader, right? What comes after that? Who comes seeking vengeance for that person, right? Are they also violent? Are they also going to come for you and your family? Are you always going to have to be on high alert if such a home invasion happens to you?
And
right?
You know, you say home invasion, right? And I want to get this point out there. You don't have to be a victim of a situation to know that, or to have an opinion about it, right? You don't have to physically go through something, and it's only then you could have an opinion. That's how it works.
It really
because
isn't.
These ministers, these ministers that in power at present.
How many of you can actually say
that they went through a home invasion?
Each and every one of them, and that's why they implemented
this? Come on. Let's be real. It's just asking a question, and it's either you're in support of it or you're not. And at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with party. And I invite anybody who support any party, you are welcome to call this program and give your opinion. Nothing is wrong with it.
And I think we're gonna leave this as one of our first main topics tomorrow, because again, I got 23 missed calls on phone number 1, and I don't even know how many about on phone number. Oh my Lord! And I even left somebody on hold, and I feel bad. I feel very bad. I feel very bad. No, because the other conversation went on for so long.
Yeah, but I have something else to tomorrow, you know, but since you're saying that we should continue
because you have stirred a pot. You have stirred a pot, and I think we have to finish letting this one boil before we jump into the topic of tomorrow.
Oh my God!
But guys, we're gonna go into what is a crime but not a crime in the next hour to get some laughs in and some good energy out there.
And for persons who don't, and like the last caller said, he hopes that our program remains balanced. But let me say that, just as how this song does go, balance.
One topic every day.
Right? Nice.
Plain and simple. All right, guys. So let's take this pause right here and come back in a short.
Seventh-day Adventist. We are preaching emergency alert broadcast, which is from the Tuesday Seventh-day Adventist Church. We will be featuring voices of brethren from different parts of the world, preaching the gospel, preaching prophecy as it relates to current events and the ending of the world. Listen to us on 91.9 FM every Sunday from 9:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Sundays. May God bless you as you learn the truth. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
He raised you right. Now sauce him proper. He taught you how to ride a bike. Now reward him with some drip. Buy any messy sandwich for $34.95 only on the KFC app and be automatically entered to win a 75-inch smart TV, barbecue grill, or soundbar for dad. More crunch, more love, more mess. Promotion ends June 11. Only at KFC. It's
Don't
finger
miss May mega
licking
deals
good.
at Furniture Plus. Come enjoy massive savings store-wide today. Get up to 50% off mattresses, up to 45% off living room furniture, up to 40% off bedroom furniture, up to 25% off appliances, up to 20% off electronics, and much more. Buy now, pay later with affordable hire purchase plans. Plus, earn Caribbean Airlines. Travel miles when you shop with us. All Furniture Plus stores open today. Hurry in. These deals won't last.
Trinidad, let's do it.
White Oak One Caribbean Music Festival.
Indian Arrival Holiday Weekend.
Saturday, May 31st at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain, Trinidad. Coming to shake the Queen's Park Savannah.
From Ghana,
mega superstar Molly.
Dealing with the body, of course. Oh, you're dealing with the boss. If we break up, yeah, you know that it's a loss.
The king of dancehall, Vibes Cartel.
Rub it and you rub it and you rub it and you rub it like a genie in a buckle. You them love.
The Queen of Steve, Lady Lava. Get your tickets now.
Secure your spot online at islandetickets.com, frontlineticketing.com, or onecaribbeanmusicfestival.com. Call 794-6263.
White Oak One Caribbean Music Festival. Saturday, May 31st at the Queen's Park Savannah.
Powered by California Stucco. Sponsored by FT Car Care Center and B-Mobile.
Just rewind, let me shake it to the max.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Alloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Champlain, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282. Or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Think you've got the spark to light up the airwaves or the drive to seal the next big deal? The Street 919 FM is on the hunt for fresh voices and bold talent. Whether you're a natural-born entertainer ready to command the mic or a savvy sales star ready to crush targets, this is your chance to shine with the station that defends the nation. Radio stars bring the energy, passion, and charisma. We're looking for dynamic personalities to electrify our airwaves. Sales executives, if you're a go-getter with the hunger to succeed and build lasting relationships, we want you on our team. Show us what you've got. Send your demo or resume today to thestreet919fm@gmail.com and take your shot at greatness. The Street 919 FM, the official station that defends the nation. Join the movement. Become the next big thing. The wait is finally over. The Street 919 FM is powering up its digital presence with the launch of its vibrant new website, www.thestreet919fm.com. Now you can take the energy of the street with you wherever you go. Immerse yourself in a dynamic world of the hottest music, thought-provoking talk shows, exclusive interviews, and non-stop entertainment. Stay informed with the latest news updates and essential information, all just a click away. Don't miss out on being part of the Street 919 FM community online. Head over to www.thestreet919fm.com today and experience the rhythm of the street like never before.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
affliction back and I'll die away.
And let me say how good and pleasant it is.
In short, this is what
we talking to y'all this afternoon. The Street 919 FM.
Let us forget fights and grudges and concentrate.
I want to again humbly apologize. I know a lot of y'all had opinions of the topic that Anderson brought forth today. And I promise you, we will dive into it first thing tomorrow afternoon, because I know plenty of people didn't really get to say what they wanted to say. But I definitely don't want to use the whole next hour to really talk about that now. So, yeah. I might squeeze. I will squeeze this one as a show of good faith to let you know that we will definitely touch it tomorrow. Right? Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Miss Henry, how are you?
Yes, good afternoon. Oh my God, how you know my name? Hi.
Yes, I recognize
Hello?
your voice. I recognize your voice. You're hearing us
You
good, right?
recognize my voice?
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I just called to commend y'all for taking off that caller with that racist statement.
Thank you.
Y'all keep the good work. You see, because they go on another station, I know that caller voice. Calls and talk a lot of race talk, and the host entertains it. So he thought he could have come by y'all with it. So I just want to say, well done, and y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Henry. You have a good afternoon,
Bye.
okay? Bye-bye.
Same to you. Be safe.
Of course. Blessings. Yeah. It's nice to know
you see, so I have people, they have my back. They have my back. My people have my back. Tempo take over, people have my back, and I'm glad. Thank you so much.
Yes. Much appreciated, people. Much appreciated. So, yeah, guys, if you're just joining us, once again, the YouTube is streaming live. We are The Street 919 FM live on YouTube and Facebook, and, of course, the website as well, www.street919fm.com. Okay. Of course, our numbers 342-0081, 446-5391. Send your voice notes or call to join the conversation. If you missed yesterday, we started a new segment. What is not a crime but should be a crime, and that's gonna be our. In every final hour of our show, that's what we're going to be doing. And hearing from you all.
Yeah, it could be something serious. It could be something humorous.
Yeah.
It's all up to you, but you know.
We're keeping it light.
Yeah, we're keeping it light.
Trying to keep it light, okay? No. Don't bring the politician that you don't like into this one, right? We whatever crimes you feel they committed, we will take it. They will take it to the Lord in prayer.
You understand?
Right? But
you know what should be a crime?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Your last bit of money you have on your phone, and you call somebody, and all of a sudden you just hearing this person in between your conversation coming on the phone to tell you have 1 minute left. That should be a crime.
So wait, you rather than just cut you off? You rather just be in the middle of the
because mind you, sometimes when that person come on and say, you have 1 minute left, it done enough. It done.
So you rather just cut you flat. You're in the middle. You're in the middle of calling your missus, and you say, "Yeah, go pick you up in about boop boop boop." You rather that happen to you. You rather that situation happen to you.
Because you see, sometimes too, you miss out part of the conversation because remember the person on the other end not hearing that, you know.
Right.
So the person yapping and talking.
She be yapping and yapping.
Oh, let's put it like this. You probably were saying, so we together or we not together? I get that thing later or I ain't get anything later.
Right.
And before she could even respond, or you thinking, you're gonna get a response, you have 1 minute left. And by the time you come back on, you say, what you say? Well, you wasn't serious.
You wasn't serious? Well, like you're not listening. I need a man who could listen to me, you know.
Exactly. That's a crime. That is a crime.
That's fair. that is fully fair. You know, it's a crime. Was not a crime, but should be a crime.
What's that?
And this one is going out to from people who are avid in the gym. I am recently in my gym journey again because I had to take a year off for surgery and stuff. I was recovering from my surgery, but I can gym again now. I'm in my 6th week.
Right.
Right? And I'm getting into my routine. I have a treadmill in the gym that I just use. I don't use any other treadmill. I have 12 treadmill in the gym. That is the one I just use.
Okay.
You know what's supposed to be a crime?
What?
Using my treadmill. You know when you're accustomed to using one thing because you're accustomed to the features on that treadmill, the speed of that treadmill,
But
you know that treadmill tracking you.
Did
right?
you buy that? You buy that?
I pay my gym membership. When I go in there at 6:05 in the morning, that treadmill is supposed to be empty for 45 minutes. So I can get my cardio in good and build up my endurance. So when I walk in this morning and Miss Darky, who was looking well fit, you really don't need that treadmill like I need that treadmill because your stomach flat, right? Bouncy so big I can see it from the front. You're well good. Don't need that treadmill like I need that treadmill.
Oh my gosh,
yeah. I sorry.
The dream, you gotta come down.
Nah. Me coming down from I ain't coming down from that one, and I know gym buffs just be selfish about their own thing too. So I understand. Nah. Sorry, that one is a crime. Good afternoon. Look, good afternoon. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Good afternoon.
Yes, Robin.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Robin. Tell my hear your voice. I know it's you inside of there.
What's that?
Huh? They hear me?
Yeah, me and you.
Yeah, hearing you.
Yeah, I said I don't know it's you inside there. I know Selena calling the station because I hear nobody these days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I see everybody going away. I'm not hearing them. What is going on? Nobody. So I know hear you. So I feel I'm not step in. How you going otherwise, darling? You good?
Good.
We good. What is that? What is not a crime that should be considered a crime in your book?
Oh, well, the only thing about it, I say with this crime, everybody needs to come together and see what we could do about it because it's really people have to do something about it.
All right, okay. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. It's we have to see about it.
Of course.
I don't know when that day will come. God alone knows. Yeah? God covering we need brother Jesus. All right. So have a blessed evening, darling.
You too.
And stay safe.
Of course. Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah.
I feel mom's now put on your radio.
That's good. That's good.
That's all good. That's all well and good.
Yeah, she gonna be listening from now on, man. 12 to 4, we here, okay? I'm not coming down off of that high horse. I'm sorry. That made me very upset this morning. I only not more upset because I broke my distance in spite of that setback this morning.
Let me remind the callers too, when you're calling in during this segment, your access phrase is what should be a crime.
Yeah, what's not a crime, what should be.
Right, should be a crime.
Right?
That's your access phrase, and then after you just go ahead and let us know.
You remember from yesterday, was not a crime but should be a crime?
What's that?
Them same people on the road who just take the cars.
Oh, yes. yes.
Them?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, nothing better to do.
Yes.
And by an extension, no parking should be a crime. No parking sign should be a crime. The city is small and space is limited. We need more spaces to park, and everybody's parking lot is private. So unless you're going to see about business in said building, you can't park any people in parking lot.
And let me say, what really is a crime in it? You could imagine you just park your vehicle. I'm talking about just park your vehicle, and while you crossing the road and going in a store, you're even in the store for 10 seconds. The record take your vehicle and go with it?
That happened to me already in St. James. I jump in my car and I drive down to there with them because you're not leaving my car. He says, I said, get out of which car? This is my car. You can take me down there, but you're not taking my car without me. I'll tell you that much right now. You want me to start the engine and rev out of here? Listen me, right? Record should be a crime. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh my gosh.
There's barely space to park in the nation, and you still trying to take my car down because you need $500 funky added to your quota. KFC, thank you for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, DJ Anderson and Begade.
Yeah.
You know what is that crime?
What's that?
To use your two talk show hosts for personal benefit, and when they get the bag, you dismiss them. That is a big crime. My God.
KFC.
Damn.
All right, KFC.
What is that? What is that one? That one sound personal, boy. That one sound personal.
All right.
Which one I hurt my bedroom, boy? Ah, boy. Who he talking about? Matter of fact, I don't want to know who he talking about.
Yeah. We don't want to know. We don't want to know.
That's a personal thing.
Yeah, we don't want to know. We don't want to know. We don't want to know. We really don't want to know.
I real good on that one there. For
and
sure,
reminding you guys could also send your voice notes as well. And giving you guys those numbers again, 342-0081 and 466-5391.
What else is a crime, but that should not be a crime, boy? Hot milk in cereal.
Why?
You might as well eat porridge, Anderson.
What jail is
Nah. You could call me bougie if you could, cause somebody call me bougie when I say that. That's okay. I'll be bougie.
I'll warm
cereal
milk?
is for warm milk.
With cereal?
Warm milk is for sleeping, bro.
Wow.
You really want to put?
So when you having your cereal, you having your cereal with what? A normal what?
It's
cold
cold. My milk had to be cold.
You're really bougie.
I don't care. I don't care. And I do not care. You could say it all you want. I do not care. If I had went school to Trinidad, I would have gone CIC or one of them places.
Somebody told me that what should be a crime is eating Karaili.
Where's
No, but I disagree.
Hold on.
I disagree.
Where the sound effect?
I disagree. I love Karaili.
You the first person
I love Karaili. I can eat Karaili every day.
Let me not say that. My granny had loved Karaili. But most old people love Karaili. So
what are you trying to say? I'm old because I love Karaili?
Yes, that's exactly what
Because this is our land.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
I was not going to say I'll take off your mic. But I realize the table's still around today.
You forget which side are you on today. Yeah. Come early to work Come early to work
tomorrow.
Nah, boy.
I love Karaili. Nothing is wrong eating a good, nice fried Karaili. I was even brought up with my aunt and them used to stuff Karaili with minced beef and stuff.
So you would have eat that Karaili cake certified Samson had given on Instagram at time.
Karaili cake?
Yeah, Karaili. His grandmother put out a Karaili cake for him. And
I know what
he and Ezekiel eat it. And she was trying to teach him a lesson about he too greedy and he ate too long. So she put Karaili in cake and leave it out for him.
Okay. I ain't nobody Karaili in the cake, but I love Karaili. And you told me yesterday, when we were talking about, was it yesterday? I believe so. Yeah, when we were talking about Christine, our president,
right,
Miss Christine Kangaloo, and you went along to say that how you love Indian women.
Yes,
right.
I do.
Don't you know that part of Indian people tend to cook a nice sada roti?
Yeah.
With fried Karaili?
I can eat the sada.
But you eating the Karaili?
Nah.
Nah, well, she go leave here.
Nah.
She go leave here. She go leave here. That lady, that Indian lady
for the fried Karaili?
Of course.
Nah, boy.
Of course.
I will eat everything else.
Of course.
I will eat the dal. I will eat the chana. I will eat the pumpkin.
Karaili
everything else. But the fried Karaili, she go leave me for?
What Karaili do you?
Huh?
What Karaili do you?
It's bitter, boy.
How you mean it bitter? Nah, you got the right person to cook it for you. You got the right person to cook it for you.
I real good on Karaili, boy. That and melangen. No, sorry.
Wait, you don't eat what?
Nah. Listen. You'll kick me out the country if I tell you the amount of things I do not eat, right?
I ready to kick you out already because...
Let me just leave it at that, right?
Trinidadians, any Trinidadian, don't call that melangen. We just call it bygone. So once you start calling it melangen,
yeah, bygone sound too. Everybody, every time they say bygone, it sounds too suggestive. My granny used to say melangen. I always stick with melangen, right?
You were eating melangen, or you're eating bygone. Well, then hear what? You see, from tomorrow, just bring back your citizenship from here, from me, please. Whatever documents you have for Trinidad and Tobago, bring it back for me, please.
Oh, so you take
because we need to send you back where you come from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bygone you eating, boy?
Ah, boy. Now slimy, boy.
In short,
that's a crime. That is a crime.
It's slimy, boy.
That is a crime.
I don't want nothing slimy sliding down my esophagus.
No, man. That's a crime. That's a crime. That's a crime. That is a crime. That is a crime without even saying it's a crime.
I might roast it or something, saute it or something. We go try that, but oh god. Oh god.
So you never eat a good roast bygone?
Come off of me for a second, cause I see something in the YouTube. Yeah. Somebody say fish broth should be a crime.
Fish broth?
Fish broth. Fish broth.
But why?
I want to know why too.
Why fish broth is that crime, boy? What fish broth do you?
I want to know if you must be allergic to fish. Now, granted, right? I am not a big broth eater, right?
Neither am I.
But on the days, especially when you're sick, a good broth will pepper you right up, you know. My grandmother used to live off of fish broth. It had the fish market right there on the foreshore. That was her favorite place to go. Chop up some kingfish and come home and make a nice good soup with it. Sidebar. Why is Caribbean people, right, Anda? Why is Saturday reserved for soup? In the tropics where it is hot, we drink in a hot bowl of soup.
You know what?
I don't know where it comes from, and I never understood the logic of it. But
I think it's just from our ancestors, because I grew up knowing on a Saturday is either soup or a macaroni and corned beef, a rice and corned beef, something fast, something quick.
Yeah, something quick.
You know,
fast.
On a Friday, I knew it as well as pilau.
Yeah.
Friday is pilau day, Saturday is soup, and Sunday is full works.
Yeah, the full works you're getting on the Sunday.
Fireworks.
Mr. President.
Yeah, come in.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon at your last hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's your question again?
What is not a crime, but should be a crime?
All right, disrespect.
Huh?
You want to say that?
Nah, what you said?
Oh, it's simple thing that's passed over here. That's what is going disrespect.
Disrespect?
Yeah.
Think about the question. Think about your question. Think about that answer. What is not a crime? But disrespect is not a crime, right?
It's not, but
I wonder.
It's not, but it should be.
Oh.
It should be a crime.
I thought I alone had the answer. Because you see it right there before your ball, it should be, your ball, it is. You see, the language they give it. Since we come out from a language that we recognize, we really come out from somewhere. But we don't know the language that we never really go into it to study it. We just talk. As a child, you start to talk before you read it. How come that happening? That happening because the vibration of words already in the society, so you didn't really have to be in a book. You know that word one time because you're in the environment. Now, disrespect it in the environment too. But as you ask the question, it's not a crime. But should it be?
I think so.
Why? Because that is what causes the crime. You love ye one another. If as I have loved you, all right, all of that is discipline in the Bible, whether scriptures, whether we like it or not. We say we love, God is love, agape love. Man love is, what did it call that word, infatuation? That can't be agape because agape is love the world pure.
Right.
Your infatuation, lust and everything inside of between it. Okay, so we're going back to that. Is it a crime? What is not a crime? And what should be? And if we have the answer of disrespect, it's time to put the gun, hide away the gun underground, bury it, nobody can find it. Then we bring it out in our society and put in more to create more disrespect. Don't call it no other word. Whether you're going to my house or you ain't going in the hand house, it go happening around me. I know my environment. And around we people go get shoot whether you do them or not do them. We so dumb-minded to the lack of consciousness of self that we could talk. We just make laws and break it. We just love and after regret because we realize that we make something we didn't understand what would have been. My friends, you people, be conscious what you're saying. We gave a vote, yes, we gave a vote. We didn't give a vote for all that, definitely. We gave a vote for a reason that was different to all what we might be thinking now. But we have to curve it now, since that we get in and we do a thing, we will curve it. We could say it truthfully because we who do the voting, you could do all the little things, you could do all the little things, but you see, that one, they leave it alone also. I'm not saying that people in these times will have so much criminals outside that it wouldn't be necessary to people to have if they're conscious enough, because I'm telling you, people will have gun in the house and a criminal will take it away from them in the house too and all for that matter. You really believe that people? You're not holding a gun to shoot a man. You could shut up the holy gun, tremble, and air shoot and the man and them have it. Walk by you in front of you and take away a man. You don't understand the mind of people out there. You don't understand how this psychology of this fragmented mind, this human existence that we live. My brothers and sisters, not to all I didn't bold place talking to all no, always just the speaker. I am the member. But I am the president, but always the speaker. My councillors listening. And all my councils listening in Trinidad and Tobago. We have to be conscious of the self that we're supposed to be. And if we are not, it's either you think like a boy or you think like an animal. And if it's Prime Minister, Kamala, you have a work to do for we who put you there. I don't feel we put you there to reasons that we did vex with you before we put you that if you could move like Torio right now and concern yourself of your people, I mean all people in your society, I praise you if you do it. If you don't, the society will know. They will know. Do what you have to do. All right, brothers. I like the program because with our minds as all your young, like 60 change, and I'm not no dotish old man. I'm a man who's studying philosophy, psychology, and sociology. So I know all kinds of subjects because you have to put truth to all. Once you put truth to all, nobody can come with no question that I can't answer because I tell you what it is about the basic of the consciousness of the subject matter. And as long as I stay there with truth, you will find all what you have to do with your subject. Thank you, brothers. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, Brazzy. Thank you. Always with the insight. Yeah, I can call that there. Hey, Chris, afternoon.
Good afternoon again, gentlemen. All I really need to bring President on the show, All I really have to bring President.
If we bring President on the show, I'm leaving him. If we bring President on the show, I'm leaving him to talk for the 4 hours,
Yeah.
I'm leaving him to talk for the 4 hours. He deserves that platform.
He has a lot of insight.
He's always on point. Always on point. Now, what's supposed to be a crime is officers dealing with the public without body cams. Because time and time again...
All right, Chris. Come to the front of the class. Come to the front of the
class. Hold on. Big effect. Yeah. I'm a sound effects now, so yeah, we in effect. Let me go.
You see, time and time again, right? We have seen that we can't just go on the narrative given by the TTPS or the part of the TTPS that is responsible to give information to the media. We have seen on numerous occasions where they have fallen short. And I'm saying to safeguard the police themselves in taking whatever course of action that they see fit at the point in time to safeguard them and to also safeguard the civilian or citizen who they may be in contact with. We need the presence of the body cam without any excuse from police officers or otherwise. So when somebody saying the good boy or the police too wicked, you will have a clear footage to identify which story it really is.
Right.
Because I don't know when we will really move forward in terms of implementation, because it's not that the solutions are not out in the atmosphere, you know. It is just that many times the persons who enjoy certain things and sit at certain places, with their refusal or unwillingness to act, then things just don't happen. Because when we see Gary Griffith was the head of the police service and see the entire transformation take place, right? Notwithstanding his bias or whatever, but we were able to see that the police service could really get some things going in the country.
Correct.
Because it had to, in no time, a few moments later, if it's not apology, if it's not arrest, but the activity was there in terms of the police doing something that could really bring results. Is it that when Gary Griffith gone, that was the end of the transformation and the changing of policing in this country, and we're going back to the dormantness where a police officer answering the phone and saying, you don't know where this St. Joseph's police station is? So what are you doing? Say, no, home there and waiting for the police to come? Or then you have asking officers, officer, can you provide me with your name and your badge number, please? And the officer just refuses to communicate, refuses to answer.
Utter nonsense.
And, you know, if you treat certain officers like that, with your right to remain silent and don't answer any question posed,
they want to arrest you.
Posed to them by you. Not just arrest, you could catch a couple blows. Because they don't understand, right, that their duty in protecting and serving, if somebody breaches the law, once it's not a current threat, an immediate threat, you just apprehend the person and your work is basically over.
Yep.
They have to face the court, right? And the thing is, if we don't, as Mr. West is saying, attack this thing with a holistic approach, what we will continue to have going on is certain parts of the car working and certain parts of the car not working. So you might have a serious problem with your transmission, but your engine working, right? And we need to address everything. Gentlemen, I locked on and listening.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
Yeah, we gonna have to organize it at some point. Pick up yourself, Chris. Yeah, I tell you, when and I'm saying when, God spare life, President come on the show, I'll leave him for the 4 hours to talk to you, the nation, about whatever he wished to talk about. For sure. Yeah, police without body cams, I definitely should be a crime.
But you know what too? What should also be a crime, and I want to go based on what Chris go on that same wave that he's on there. And I think Mr. LaHocketa would have mentioned it, that there are laws, there are laws that are and clause and handbooks. There are things that are put in place to deal with certain employees and certain standing operation procedures. But yet he said that, you know, there are managers and so forth that not doing their job.
Yep.
Right? And I want to say that should be a crime. When there are procedures, when there are laws to follow, and managers and even their subordinates are not following it, that should be a crime.
I agree.
Because they are not bringing a solution. They are not bringing any help to try to alleviate some of the issues that a department might be having, because they are just becoming a part of the problem.
Very true.
And we need more people to be a part of the solution, not the problem. And that's why sometimes when you go in certain places, you realize that there's a culture, and you say, but hey, it's like the culture not changing because nobody is taking that responsibility to say, hey, you know, this is a handbook. This is the procedure. This is how things supposed to be, and let's follow it.
And nobody's following it.
No. So that should be a crime. That should definitely be a crime.
Yeah, guys. 342-0081 466-5391. We have just a little under 20 minutes before we close out the show, and we just on our final hour segment, what's not a crime but should be. So make sure to hit that call up. Oh, look, our friend called back. Good afternoon.
All right, gentlemen, again. I'm gonna get to the point. There's a saying, a speech must be like a woman's dress, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to be interesting. And you must never, when you're a doctor of information, you must never overdose your patients, right? Let that be some words of wisdom to somebody. Now, the U.S. is considered to be one of the world's influencers, is considered to be one of the richest countries. You agree with me? But how you could be the rich if it's the biggest scam? Right? They undermine everything and everybody. That don't make no sense. That don't make sense at all. And the people keep abiding by a whole set of nonsensical rules that they put in place. But then watch this. The law, obscene language, well, it's not a law. That is a statute. And statutes are not laws. Ordinances are not laws. Right? Mandates are not laws. Those are all statutes. The supreme law of the country is the Constitution. So the obscene language in the United States of America, where there's the influencer, is not a statute or is not a rule, because you see, the people have the freedom to express themselves, right? So how come here they say that is a law, and starring in the word DISCUSS, discuss, starring in the word is CUSS. So whenever you're expressing yourself, you're really discussing. So how could that be a law or a rule? But it's not a law or a rule on the other side where the biggest influencer is. And that goes to the heart of a conversation that a fella earlier on, who sometimes he's make some good contributions, Barapo. Okay? Anybody who would sacrifice their liberty for security deserves neither. That is why the big influencer says motto is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It didn't say life, security, and the pursuit of happiness. It said life, liberty. Because you're supposed to be able to operate free and fair and free from all fear. So the point I want to make is, wherever you have more security, you curtail the liberty and the freedom of everybody. You undermine the best thing in life, which is the liberty. If you have a maximum security prison, even the security officers cannot walk around with guns and stuff like that because their liberty to do what they want to do is curtailed. So anytime you try to go for maximum and more security, you will interfere with the most mighty precious value for the citizenry, which is called the liberty. And that is one of the reasons why we need to stay away from this gun-toting mentality, these robocops that we have, these fellas who want to be toy soldiers. There is a way to curb this crime in this society. That is what we have to look at. Not weaponizing ourselves and playing Robocop. There are a lot of things.
Thank you for that.
Thank you so much for your contribution, caller. Alright, okay. Based on that last call, the dream, I hear you all. I am going. We definitely will continue this conversation tomorrow.
Thank you.
I will do some further research because I would love to look at some other countries as well to see the statistics and to see exactly if this has really brought any huge amount of change. Based on some that I have done already is that it hasn't, but I would try and dig a little deeper and see. And again, our conversation has nothing to do with the current administration. We don't like them or we like them. It have nothing to do with this. It is about just having that real conversation, that true conversation that we should be having with each other, because how they say you grew up a long time, you know, your neighbor was your
brother's keeper.
Your brother's keeper, correct. So, you know, we have to be able to look out for each other and be honest to each other. You know, I know personally, as I said, I know it have people. I'm not saying that they will be granted FUL, but sometimes, boy, you just be surprised when you hear things people do and what people get through with, and you be like, damn, you serious?
All right then.
Yeah.
Much less so far if I am.
Exactly. But I will leave it for tomorrow. I just wanted to say, you know, based on I'm seeing that the calls are coming in.
Yeah.
And I understand that yes, it is going to be a conversation that people are going to be emotional and stuff, but and nothing is wrong with that. That, you know, you may be emotional, but let's just not bring the whole politics in it, you know?
Yeah.
We need to look beyond that, because at the end of the day, when that person has a firearm in their hand, they're not thinking about Miss Camilla and Mr. Rowley and Mr. Stewart or Miss Khadija Ahmed, or they're not thinking about these people. So let's really get serious when we have that conversation tomorrow. Yeah?
Shout out to Ramon G. I hope I'm saying that right on YouTube. They say Truckman says good afternoon.
Trucky!
Yeah.
You know what's that crime? Trucky coming on YouTube. And he can't call in to give us. That is a crime.
Trucky is a criminal, boy.
That is a crime.
You is a criminal, boy, Trucky, boy. Wow. Hey, you had mentioned the fish brought for what should be a crime. Somebody say microwaving fish in an office.
Oh, yes.
Should be a crime.
Yes. Actually, I remember one of my previous
Somebody can't cook fish nice, just letting you know.
One of my previous CEO, he had a serious issue with that. People bringing smoke area and thing.
Listen to me.
He actually banned it, you know.
I would have worked for him.
He banned it.
I would have worked for him. Smoke herring should be a crime.
Wait, you don't eat smoke herring?
That smells disgusting. My father loves smoke herring. And he just cook it every Good Friday. You know you're not supposed to eat meat on Good Friday?
I gotta run.
You ain't running me off of that one,
I gotta run you from this
You could give me swordfish.
You ain't eating
You could give me swordfish.
You're eating Karaili. You're eating smoke herring.
I'm not eating smoke herring. I don't care how you feel. Smoke herring smells terrible. How you can get past the smell alone, much less the taste, is beyond me.
Wow.
You better give me swordfish on Good Friday. If you give me smoke herring, I will break your plate. I will break your plate. I will break your plate. Look here, brethren. He's not a criminal anymore. We getting him out. We getting him out of the jail this afternoon. Chuck, man.
I was busy. I was doing some things there, but I was listening. So I couldn't really back here when you tell me I should get locked up.
Yeah, you see, man tried to make you a criminal this afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good
afternoon, Chucky.
Yeah, and everybody. I would say eating doubles with knife and fork.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, crime.
Crime. Who knows?
That goes for the politician. There was a particular politician who did it, and I know other people who did it other than politicians.
Wait, which politician do that? Which politician do that?
Hey, if we get enough licks today for politician, don't call no name now.
From the past administration.
Oh Lord, okay, we're gonna leave it at that.
I didn't see the video, but I was told. But if that is true here, that he should be penalized.
Oh yeah, for sure. Same goes for roti.
What about persons eating pylori with fork?
Pylori with fork?
Yeah. So I don't agree with that. Not even a toothpick, sir. Use your hand, man.
Use your good hand. You have fingers.
That's a crime,
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
That's
why I make sure.
Not even a toothpick.
Yeah.
Not even a toothpick, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Some people do that. Ask for fork to eat pylori.
Nah.
Yeah.
I get.
And Chucky, what about a man who don't eat smoke herring?
You really want me?
And that crime,
What you want me for, boy?
Okay, I missed that one, but nah, smoke herring good.
Yeah, but right. And if a man tell you he eating his wife's smoke herring, she cook it.
Something wrong?
Nah. You're off, boy. You're off. Come on for me now, boy. What's wrong with you? Hey, Chuck, man, make up yourself, eh? I was on your side, you know. You trying to do me this afternoon, boy?
You see what I tell you?
Trying to turn the nation against me, boy?
That is a crime.
I just say eating those with knife and fork is a crime.
Now,
First of all, I feel you should get a suspension on your license for taking doubles home to eat. Because doubles is a stand up and eat food. You stand over the drain.
Let me see Roger Alexander anywhere around the Honorable Roger Alexander.
You go right ahead. We will have words. That is okay. I pumped some iron in the gym this morning and I feel like I can take him. Hey, you don't tell him that, eh? What's wrong with all you, boy? Ay. Thank you for calling KFC. May I take your order? Yeah. It off?
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Go again, KFC. Yeah, go again.
Yeah. So let's talk about what is that crime or what is that crime. Who is curse crime?
That is not the segment there, KFC. That is not the segment there, KFC.
Let KFC go now, man. Let him go.
All right.
I want to tell you what is the curse crime. Well, in a certain party line, people sitting on board and victimizing you. So all that is a crime and them encouraging crime. So all that nonsense without sitting on board and people victimizing me, shadow sleep. God is the boss. Right? Bless.
Big up yourself. Victimizing KFC. What are you, boy? The original? Nah, man. That's crazy. Yeah, nah. That fish in the break room, smoke here in the break room. Nah, I good.
Yeah,
I would eat myself.
He say, anytime you're cooking that, don't bring that to work.
Fired. You're fired. I would fire them.
Wow, you will go that far?
Yeah. Well, okay. That might be a little extreme.
Yeah, I find that it's very, very extreme.
You're suspended.
Suspended?
Half pay.
Yeah. Nah, I want to work for you, nah.
Keep smoke carrying out.
I don't want to work for you at all.
If you're bringing bulljaw, that's a different story.
No, but saltfish and smoke carrying would give you that same smell.
Let's not even try that. Two completely different smells, my friend. Let's not even go down that road. You hear what Sparrow say? All saltfish sweet, not all smoke herring, eh? All right then.
All right. Okay.
All right then. Yeah, I know my things, eh?
Okay.
Right. Thank you. We talked about pizza yesterday. We're getting ready to shut down here. Pineapple on pizza. How you feel?
I feel good about that. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
I love vegetables. I love a little sweetness on my pizza. Nothing wrong with that.
But we just talked yesterday about sweetness cutting.
No. Not like ketchup. No. But I'm talking about if you pile sweet peppers and you pile pineapple, yeah, no problem. But I mean you want to dress it down with mustard and ketchup and that's for me I'll pepper on the pizza, that's it. I'll pepper sauce.
I had a little Douglas friend, she drowned her pizza in pepper sauce, right? Like it was she sprayed it on it like it was ketchup. I just
you know what? You know what's another crime? Eating at doubles and saying you don't want no pepper.
What?
That's a crime.
Dog, some people cannot take pepper, boy.
That is a crime.
Some people can't take pepper.
That is a crime.
Especially
you go to Beta Doubles and you want no pepper.
Well,
that's a crime.
Well, lock me up then, though. I don't care.
Yeah, well, you lock up a long time and since he's smoking. I don't even know he's still here.
I control your microphone, that's why. I could mute you right now. But you see how nice I is, right? Let you spew your blasphemy to the nation. I ain't said nothing about your pineapple on pizza, though.
Nothing is wrong with a pineapple on the pizza. Nothing.
If you say so.
Nothing is wrong with a pineapple.
If you say so.
So wait, you think that's a crime?
I said if you say so. Alright? I said if you say so. I'm not wasting my breath on that one.
Wow.
I'm not wasting my breath on that one. Because there's a nation that love pineapple, so I'm not doing that. I know which battles to fight. Using someone's Netflix account and messing up the algorithm.
That's a crime.
That's a crime. You watching what was the Netflix show Squid Game and them kind of things, and you share somebody's thing, and next thing you know your whole algorithm is murder documentaries, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, that kind of happens to me with my YouTube, but I thank God I changed it now. But having a child, right? And they start, and he is in love with this lady called Miss Rachel. And do you know, it have times I'm listening to a song, and all of a sudden, all I hear is Miss Rachel come on the next track. Yeah. I be like, what's this?
I ain't gonna lie. When you tell me Miss Rachel yesterday, I was thinking about Pricey, you know.
Oh, no.
I was thinking about Pricey. I'm like, wait, how you know about Pricey?
Much love going out to Miss Pricey.
I love Pricey.
Yeah.
I love me a Pricey.
Before Miss Pricey meet me outside and say, I hear you call my name. Right? It's not that kind of fight. It's not that kind of fight at all.
Nah, never. Love Pricey. Okay, I'm taking one more call before we end the show for the day. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I called the program 5. Good afternoon.
Yes.
I called the program 5 times today. Nobody take my call.
Oh, yeah,
I sent 2 voice notes. Nobody play my voice note. All right then, thanks. Bye-bye.
Oh, Lord. And that's it? All right then, thanks. Wow.
Well, I apologize. I apologize about that. But
the traffic was trafficking on the phone today.
Yeah. We're sorry about that. Sorry about that. We'll definitely make up for that tomorrow. And that sounds like
Kungi.
Kunji?
It's Kunji? That's how you pronounce it?
I believe so.
Okay. I'm looking out for it tomorrow, right? I'm looking out for you tomorrow.
I think let's call him COP. So COP, we apologize.
Profusely.
Right? But tomorrow I would make sure and be on the phones, right? Because my boy here missed that call, boy.
Yeah. So it's me. It's not the heavy traffic on the phone. It's me.
I go do like Akon. You could put the blame on me.
Okay. All right.
The phone lines was really busy and we really apologize, you know.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, please, Lord, we will definitely make sure that we looking more to that.
Got a couple more for you before we take off. Clapping when the plane lands should be a crime. I refute that. Seeing how them planes. You understand?
Yeah.
You know what it is to go up in a plane?
Yeah.
You don't know if you come back. No. I don't care how low to the ground you is. If you fall from that height, or if something happened to the plane in that height, you're dead in. And you seen how them planes getting falling apart nowadays. I am clapping with fervor.
What should be a crime is going to the people function and wedding, and you know you wasn't invited and bad talking it. That is a crime.
Climbing over the fence of the venue should be a crime. Climbing over the fence in a whole work suit.
Telling people that how you're feeling to go no vibes cartel. But really and truly is because you know you have no money.
Yeah, no money to go this.
That's a crime. That's a crime. Stop it.
Just say you're not going because you're broke. I say it in big. I ain't had that kind of dust to spend for World Boss this round.
The backstage.
Yeah.
Backstage.
5K, no?
That reasonable, yeah, man?
I mean, for 5,000 Guyanese, sure. No problem. No problem. Hey, y'all, that's our time, you know. We gotta go. We gotta leave. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We make sure we take all the calls tomorrow, all right? We promise. But
tomorrow, please, the Lord, will do better.
Yes.
All right?
Anderson and the Dream, thank you all so much, Trinidad and Tobago. We love you. And we gone.
Learn and understand the true reason for Jesus? Then join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. for the program, This Same Jesus, the program that puts Jesus in his rightful place in our hearts and in our homes. Let's bring church home to you. Join us every Tuesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. with your hosts, Kempes and Kevin. Be inspired, be blessed right here on the street 91.9 FM.
Falling in love with Jesus.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Trinidad, let's do it.
White Oak One Caribbean Music Festival.
Indian Arrival Holiday Weekend.
Saturday, May 31st at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain, Trinidad. Coming to